It's time for Think Fast, the speedrunning game show of fast times and sharp minds. I'm your host, Swoops.
And I'm also your host, Sparkle.
Tonight, wait, where do Hyrule's rivers go? We're looking at all things water, rivers, Zelda, and Hyrule with Cloud and Glan. I'm sure everyone knows the rules, but just to be safe, this is Think Fast, the speedrunning game show. Our contestants will race for the best time in Tears of the Kingdom all dungeons, but with a catch. Sparkle and I can interrupt whenever we feel like to ask a trivia question, and if a runner answers right, we'll take some seconds off their final time. There's no penalty for guessing wrong, but focus too hard on answering the question and your run might suffer. For everybody watching along in chat, feel free to play along. How are both of you feeling going into tonight's race?
Well, I'm feeling all right. There was actually a brand new route for this category that just debuted like a month ago, and I was debating whether I should learn it or not because I've been away from this game for a bit. I decided not to because I figured the trivia questions are probably gonna throw enough at me as it is. So I'm definitely more confident in the speedrun side of things than the trivia side of things, but I'm not going to give in that easily. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm feeling ready to play Zelda until 1 a.m. when I have to work tomorrow.
That's so real.
Yeah, well, just play quickly and then you get to go to bed early.
True.
Exactly.
Well, if y'all are ready, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
It is time to think fast. In 3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
And while we're getting started, how about a really quick question?
Oh goodness.
That
You know what?
definitely
Sure.
will be quick.
Let's hear it.
At which event did Nintendo first announce the then untitled Tears of the Kingdom?
Oh, E3 2018.
It's not 2018.
2020?
It's not 2020.
2019.
Yeah.
E3
Classic.
2019.
How do you think fast classic?
And then there wasn't really a lot for a couple of years because some other things happened in the world. So
Yay.
I think the first time gameplay was shown was in 2022.
Yes.
That
I'm waiting
sounds
for the
about
game for a
right.
while.
Nintendo Live or whatever. I know. Full reveal featuring gameplay was shown in 2021 for E3. I think that was the last E3 too, right? Yeah.
Rest in peace, E3.
Rip.
Yeah. Now we got like Jeff Keighley.
The Game Awards.
The Game Awards, but in the summer, and it's no awards. It's just showing off stuff.
Mm-hmm.
E3. All right, so tell us about this game. What are who is Link? What are you doing? Who's crying in the kingdom?
I'll fact check.
Allegedly
I'll
Zelda
let Glenn
is.
take over this one.
Okay.
Right now we're just going through the intro. Something interesting here is we're playing on different versions, and so we're going to be doing different routes, just due to like different tricks that are available and work better on different versions. But they're actually pretty similar in time in the end. I think 1.0 the Cloud is a bit faster. Also, she's way better at the game than me, so she's a lot faster.
If you maybe ignore what's happening on my screen right now, that claim could be believable. I'm going for a clip out of bounds that saves a minute in just this intro section over what Glenn's doing, just running through, because it's skipping all that dialogue and cutscenes that he's watching.
Yeah.
But
Speaking
if
of,
I get it
watching
slowly,
cutscenes,
it's not really gonna save anything.
we're not gonna do that. Don't worry about
It'll
it.
still look cool.
I'll keep going till I get this because it's fun to show off.
So I'm gonna make a hard save here. I'm gonna use that later. So normally there's a long unskippable cutscene here, but due to undescribed magic, it's not gonna happen. Don't worry about it.
That's neat.
Okay. I'll give it one more go.
I believe.
Sunk cost fallacy has got me.
Surely next time.
Unless
So yeah, after the intro here,
inconsistent tonight at this.
we get to the Great Sky Island, or GSI, which is kind of like the tutorial section of the game. We got to go through some shrines, get our basic abilities to use, and all that. Start off with a trick right away called Cog Skip. Normally you're supposed to kind of go through this long tunnel where it teaches you some like basic movement and stuff like that. But we end up skipping that by doing kind of a precise jump here. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, this is a super precise jump. I've seen this many times.
Yeah, so the idea here is we're gonna run and get a jump with downward slope running speed, and then turn around in the air and do a jump slash, which will preserve the speed through basically.
There's like a really precise patch of that slope on the wheel there that just gives you a very good speed boost.
Ooh, nice.
That worked.
When you jump off it.
I was literally not expecting that to work.
Well, hey, as a prize, how about our first water-based question?
Oh boy.
Or river-based question, I guess. What is the pH of pure water?
7.
7, very good. Well done. Yeah, that's it.
I took high school science.
We have to ease you in, you know.
7 is also how many times it's going to take me to hit Cog Skip in just a second here.
Nice segue.
Oh, water reference?
True.
Any water fans in the chat room?
Any criers in the chat?
Hydrated?
I'm known to dabble in water on occasion.
So yeah, after doing Cog Skip, we get out past where the recall shrine is. We can't go in it yet until we open the Temple of Time, but we get to grab some wings up here, and through the power of Nintendo magic, 3 wings becomes 12 wings.
Oh yeah, this is a classic.
Happens.
That's how with a few modifications.
Well, also, by the power of Nintendo magic, Link is featured in which non-Nintendo fighting game, but only on the GameCube?
Oh,
Soul Calibur.
How do I know that? I think I saw it in the Nintendo 2
Which
Direct.
one?
Oh, God.
That I have no idea.
Me there.
Not a fighting
Soul Calibur
game
GameCube, of course.
It is.
Soul
it is not the first
3.
one. Nope. There's only so many Soul Caliburs.
Yeah, there's only so many Soul Caliburs.
You could just keep going.
Soul Calibur
Is it
4.
7? That seems to be our number tonight.
Nope.
Nope to both of those.
That one, Soul Calibur 7, like just came out. Or features Star Wars characters. Because of course it does.
Oh, Star
2.
Wars. Yes,
It
2.
is 2. There you go.
It's like Soul Calibur Force, like with the Force.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry, intrusive thought.
What guest characters did 3 have? So I feel like they all kind of just have guest characters. I don't know. There's a couple things you can recreate in the character creation mode. That's not as cool as just guest characters like Link.
Yeah, this is a really expansive character creator, though. You can like make like it's like the Soul Calibur 7 character creator is like you can use assets from like every character in the game and like paint over them, and you can like make some insane, like some really wacky looking stuff.
Yeah,
I feel like I saw a meme
Soul
based on
Calibur.
that. I don't know.
I'm sure people have done some interesting designs of characters. I definitely don't keep up on that end.
You can make like Grimace.
Community.
It's like it can get pretty out there.
You telling me the McDonald's crew aren't just guest characters? Lame.
That's in the next game.
Yeah,
I hope so.
All right. Coming up here for me is another slight route divergence over what Glen's going to be doing. I'm going to be performing a glitch called hold on. Quick drop Zekel. The aim of this glitch is to get this tree branch stuck on Link's feet so I can travel back in time and steal the Master Sword.
Uh-huh.
I will also steal the Master Sword.
I would just trip, fall, and start crying, but I guess he's built different.
Could not be me.
So now I got this thing glued on my feet. I'm gonna come talk to this guy first just to get the autosave, and then we'll be doing our little time travel magic.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys have watched a run of this category before, another big difference is, I'm not sure which audio feed we're using for the stream here, but if we're on Glance, we're gonna get this lovely, wonderful microwave white noise for the entire back 2/3 of the run. That's a side effect of Glenn running through intro and hitting the flag to make the sword buzz. But since I skipped out of bounds, we're not going to get that on mine. If you watched my run of this category at GDQ a few months ago, you might remember really I messed up the intro and we had that lovely microwave sword the entire run.
It's better that way, honestly.
It's constant stimulation.
Microwave sound. I don't even notice it anymore. It's just a fact of life. The microwave.
Yeah.
How did that work?
Whoa.
That makes sense.
That's Tears of the Kingdom for you right there. 2023 for the Nintendo Switch.
So this tree branch chew thing, it passes through saves. So I'm just going to load up my autosave from the beginning of the game and intro. And picking up that tree branch will give us access to an inventory menu that we're not normally supposed to have. And you can see the Master Sword is right there. And we're going to do another similar glitch to bring that back to our other save.
Well, while you're doing that, excluding CDI games, who is the first Legend of Zelda character with full voice acting in any language, as in, like, they speak full sentences?
I think Glenn probably has a better shot of knowing this one than I do.
I'm trying to think.
I will say this is fairly obscure. It is not just.
I saw a video about this like 12 years ago. Yeah.
Like, do they say actual sentences or just words?
Yeah. It is full sentences, not necessarily in English, but they do make full.
Yeah.
I will say this is fairly obscure because it's something that was not released in the Americas.
Fairly obscure. Tingle.
You're on the right track-ish of that type of character, but it's not Tingle. That would be good, though.
Is it David Jr.? My favorite character.
No. I wish.
We are in... Actually, I'm not going to say what console we're on, because that might give it away in a roundabout way.
It's a game that's not released in the Americas?
The game was in the Americas. A specific feature of it was not, and this is where this voice acting is.
It's... That makes me think of, like... Never mind. I'm too young for this.
This is pre-2010.
Pre-2010. I'm blanking. It's not Tingle.
Yeah. This is definitely one of the hard. This might be the hardest one we have today. So
yeah, I came out of the gate with Buster's Stain.
Get it out of the way while I'm doing a very difficult trick. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna get this anyways. I'm just gonna focus.
We are on the GameCube in this case.
The GameCube. I'm feeling like Twilight Princess for some reason. Like it's like the guy who says a bunch of gibberish in the Malamart song.
That's very clever, but it's not that. I like that though.
I like that, yeah. It is pre-Twilight Princess.
Is it like Vati and Four Swords Adventure or something?
Mm-mm. It is in Four Swords Adventure.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, then I definitely would know it. That's like one of 3 or 2 Zelda games that I've never ever played.
No. It is in a feature that does not exist in the Americas.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this character is even in the game.
No, yeah, this character's not in the actual game.
I'm assuming it's in like the battle feature or whatever.
I don't know exactly what it is. It's in the Navi Trackers mode.
Navi Trackers. Well, it's Navi.
It is not Navi though.
You sure you guys aren't just making this up?
No, I've seen this.
I ensured this was real.
I know I saw a video about this one time.
This character is best known for being in another Zelda game.
Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
In another GameCube Zelda game. Fine.
Definitely Link then.
It is not just
He's well
Link.
known for talking.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start with this one.
Another Zelda game.
Any other ideas then?
Not Twilight Princess. Is it a character in Wind Waker?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Is it Beetle?
Not Beetle.
Actually,
is it the King of Red Lions?
Not the King of Red Lions.
He's in that game. Is it?
That'd be funny. Just show up.
Yeah.
I don't think
Check
he's
out
in
my
that
next game.
Beetle makes the
Shows
most
up in
sense.
Four
It's not
Swords.
Tingle.
It's not Tingle.
Is it Tetra?
Yes.
It is Tetra.
oh my god. GG.
Yeah, so there's the Navi Trackers mode, which like I don't know exactly what it is. It was only in the Japan and Korean version of Four Swords Adventures, and Tetra speaks in like full Japanese or Korean sentences, like at the players.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a minigame-ish thing. 4 players, you run through mazes searching for members of Tetra's pirate crew, and you collect stuff. So definitely an interesting thing that
I had no idea. I've never heard of that before.
Yep, I had never heard of that.
But that's
before
also
this.
CDI erasure.
Yeah, that's too easy though. You can't just narrow it down to who speaks first in the CDI games.
I wouldn't even know.
Glenn,
that.
have you actually played the CDI games before?
I haven't, but I want to soon, like this year.
Are you gonna speedrun them too?
Probably not.
Well, while we're on the topic of the CDI, what 3 items can you purchase from Morshu's shop in the Faces of Evil?
Oh god. True love.
Unfortunately, you cannot.
I have way too much brain rot. Rope, lamp oil, and bombs.
There you go. Oh, yes. I was scared for a second.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting more things as well other than those, but no, it's just those 3 things. He just has
No,
something.
yeah, he's not trying to swindle you. He knows who he is.
And
Classic.
they're yours as long as you have enough rubies.
Yeah.
All right, fine. We got another segue into another question. We're just on a roll. Rubies are named after rubies, like the gem, not the real world currency. Name any country that uses the real world rupee currency.
India.
That is one of them. Do you know how many countries currently use the rupee currency?
I'm gonna guess 4.
It is not 4.
3. 3?
Going back down here for a second.
It is not 3. It's those two combined. It's 7.
Whoa,
Seven
working together.
makes another
There's our
appearance.
number again.
It is Pakistan, India, Indonesia, Nepal, the Seychelles, Sri Lanka, and Mauritius. And I would not have expected you to name all of them. So one of them is okay.
I only would have thought about Bangladesh out of those.
Bangladesh uses the taka,
Oh, well, there you go. It's not even one of them. I was definitely listening.
but its Unicode is known as the rupee sign, so I don't know. Not my call.
Here's
but
my question. Why does Link kick the chest if he knows it's going to hurt him? Why does he do
Well, it's the
that?
first time he did it. Maybe he learned how.
Oh, maybe.
Why
Link
do we
learns from his
love
mistakes.
if we know it's going to hurt us?
I mean,
more
I do
okay,
a lot of
fine.
things to
Jeez.
hurt myself.
I blame Warshu for that one.
If his foot was lathered in lamp oil, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Speaking of, the CDI games, we're going to get to show off a trick that was debuted in the CDI games.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, by bump jumping off a shield. Well, Glenn maybe already did it. I don't know how far ahead he is, or behind, or where.
I haven't actually done it yet.
Oh, you're already inside Fuse. Okay. Well, I guess the timing was prescient. Either way.
Yeah, I'm just leaving Fuse now, which is actually the first time bomb jump on this route. So yeah, put a bomb on a shield and then boom.
Yep, that's not even a glitch. That's just an intended game mechanic with Fuse. Very
It's
fun
very
stuff.
cool. It's actually like
All right, you got one.
Damn.
not a lot of glitches on
Nice.
GSI in this route.
Glenn, which route do you take to Ultra Hand? Do you fly the wing underneath and ascend out?
No, I don't go underneath.
Oh, that's right. You're catching frogs. I forgot.
Yeah, I'm catching frogs. I like frogs.
So do I.
That's why I'm gonna shoot this one with an arrow. Don't look.
Oh my
Aw.
God.
Oh, poor frog.
Frowny face. I'm going to punish you with a hard question.
Ooh.
Okay.
What is the name of the Zora band in Majora's Mask?
The Indiegogos.
Okay, well then you got it. It's not hard.
See, I wouldn't
Well
have known that. That's why I marked it as hard.
Yeah, well,
I also don't know anything about Zelda.
I'm actually playing that game. In the process of it, although I haven't gotten there yet.
There was one that I saw that we went through, but I missed it, and I want to ask it. This one. All right. Do either of you speak French?
I speak some
No, but I
French,
do
yes.
speedrun Breath of the Wild, which is basically
Great.
the same thing.
All right. In the French Ocarina of Time instruction booklet, you can find an entry for flèche légère. This translates to light arrows, but why is this wrong?
Leger means
Because
light,
leger
like
doesn't
weight.
mean light.
yeah.
Yep.
I think you both had the same answer.
Not heavy arrows.
Should probably
Light
drink the
arrows.
speed food that I just made. Yeah, drink the food.
Alright.
That's what you
So
do.
while Glenn is catching frogs, I am going to attempt to go straight to the shrine. By doing a little normalized setup. Where I can get a nice jump off a ledge.
Yeah, that arrow flight saves a lot of time versus running. I like to take out a bomb video game. Yep, that's what I wanted to do.
Directly into the side.
We love the physics engine in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. It tries its best.
Yeah. It does what it can.
See, that would have been the perfect time to ask a trivia question because if I talk during that fight, I generally mess up because I have to focus.
Well, we can ask one to make up for it. This one. What is Ganondorf's last name?
Dragmire.
And it is.
Well done.
How do I know? How do I know that? Where did I learn that from?
I knew
Honestly,
That's like latent.
yeah,
that's like
it's
latent
right off of-
information.
Where did we learn that?
it's in like the Link to the Past lore,
Yeah, I believe that's where it is.
saw it.
which is the only place related to that game where the name Ganondorf is mentioned. I think in game he's just Ganon. Anyway, I'm gonna be stealing the Master Sword now, using a glitch called a save load duplication.
Well, I definitely
different
didn't
than how
learn it from the
Cloud
Link
did
to
it.
the Past instruction booklet. That's for sure.
So, drop a weapon and then equip another weapon and then quickly unpause and pause again, drop a different weapon. And then the first weapon I drop should spawn in at the same coordinate where it was dropped. And it just so happens that the intro and shrines are on a kind of special coordinate system. It's different than the overworld. Also, I messed it up, but can try again.
Yeah, so he's referred to as Ganondorf Dragmire in the manual for Link to the Past and also the website of like the Zelda Nintendo website.
Oh,
The online guide to the characters.
I also definitely didn't learn it from there. Maybe I was just born with this knowledge.
Sometimes you just know. Yeah, I don't know if it's mentioned elsewhere.
My mom was
Probably
playing
like
a
one
Link
of
to
the-
the Past when I was born or something. I don't know. I was destined to become a Zelda speedrunner.
Not the worst thing, I guess.
Not the worst thing. There we go. There's my tree branch.
Doing the same thing as Cloud did before.
Yeah, it's a different glitch to get an item in here, but
Yeah.
Oh, message not found.
The biggest differences between these routes, because I'm playing on version 1.0 and Glan's on 1.1 or 1.10, I don't know exactly, but they're the same. Yeah. It all comes down to the glitches, because in 1.0 we have a lot of glitches that exploit the inventory system and the way items drop when you take them out of your inventory. And it doesn't work quite the same way in 1.1, so a lot of those things will not work. So what you're going to be seeing is basically achieving the same means or achieving the same ends through different means.
yeah.
Both in terms of getting the Master Sword, and then in terms of fast movement, like we'll see later.
Yeah, it's gonna
Bomb
be very
Shield is so
different.
funny.
Yeah, we definitely used Ultra Hand to get through the shrine.
Yeah. Got him.
Yeah.
You did it.
So what'll be interesting is later we'll see both versions have good glitches to travel really quickly across the world, but they're very different. So, we'll kind of be achieving the same result, but differently, just like she said.
Yep. And so after Great Sky Island, which we're coming up on the end here in about 5 minutes or so, our next objective is to get the Paraglider, not only because it's useful for traversal, you actually can beat every dungeon without the Paraglider. If it weren't the fact that to get into Spirit Temple, the game checks to see if you have it before it lets you progress the quest,
Okay.
unfortunately. So,
That's cool.
which means Spirit Temple is locked behind the Paraglider, but the other 5 dungeons you can do without it.
Never knew that.
I'm very happy we don't have to do the dungeons without it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to.
Saying that it's doable does not mean it's easy or fun.
I believe you can't
Oh, hey.
do all shrines without it, though. If you really want to torture
Yeah.
yourself.
You definitely can.
Hey, speaking of
doing that-
fun,
Oh, yeah.
check this out. What river is located just over 10 blocks away from this year's Summer Games Done Quick venue?
Oh, Mississippi River.
Mississippi River, that's right. And hey, remember, SGDQ registration closes May 26th. If you're looking for something to do on the 4th of July before SGDQ, head over to the Hilton, Minneapolis, and make your way to the fireworks show on the Mississippi River. Yeah.
Maybe I will.
That's a freebie for me because I'm a local. I drive across that river every day.
Sometimes we accidentally tailor questions to our runner's knowledge, you know? That's okay. Yeah, I walked down to the Mississippi last SGDQ. It was cool.
It's a beautiful area. If you guys are here, I recommend checking out Minnehaha Falls. It's just a bit south of downtown. It's a really nice park in South Minneapolis, right off the Mississippi.
I may do that.
But yeah, so basically after we get the paraglider, the routes are going to diverge pretty heavily, and then they'll kind of resync back up later.
Yeah.
I'm going to be going straight to Spirit Temple, and Glan's going to be doing a bunch of other prep stuff before he goes there. But then we shall meet up later.
How much later, roughly?
Probably 45 minutes. Because I'm going to do Spirit Temple, and then I'm going to do all of Water Temple, and then I'm going to do all of Fire Temple. Whereas Glan's going to do like the first half of the first part of the Fire Temple quest, and then the first part of the Water Temple quest, and then Spirit Temple, and then go back and finish Water, and then go back and finish Fires. But
yeah,
from there,
pretty much like after Fire, it'll be synced up again.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Or once we run into Yunobo, oh, that's a wing.
Yeah, I guess before Fire.
Earlier, after the first shrine.
On the topic of dungeons, which Zelda game, or mainline Zelda game, has the fewest number of dungeons?
See, that depends on how you define a dungeon, because I would say Majora's Mask, but then Breath of the Wild also kind of only has 4, unless you count Hyrule Castle, which most people don't.
I have Majora's Mask, so you still get there in the right way. And yeah, it's 4. I don't... Let me see. Because yeah, Majora's Mask has 4, but you're not wrong about Breath of the Wild either. I don't know what the general consensus on a dungeon is for that game.
The speedrun definition is just the divine beasts.
Right.
But yeah, I've seen some like tier lists and stuff where they put Hyrule Castle in as a dungeon.
I mean, you do have to make it to the top somehow.
True.
Alright, because I messed this up, I get to do the funny thing.
This is a neat little trick here. Slash the sword to buffer the wing in a specific spot, so I can do a normalized setup to get a nice launch off the nose tip and fly straight to the end.
Wow.
So I just beat the last shrine for GSI here. We do a funny little thing where we kind of run a bit out of the cave for warping, because it starts loading the outside world as soon as you kind of approach the exit of the cave, so then it takes less time to load here. Fun.
This is a very big game. And it can take forever to load, so we try to come up with tricks to like manipulate the load time to make it faster.
Yeah, Nintendo like put in a ton of like loading optimizations.
The first thing Link does when he lands, kick his chest and hurt his foot. Okay, that's funny.
Alright, 0 for 2 on those wing lights, but no matter. So who else playing this game never remembered that Ascent existed? Because
I would get lost in caves and feel so stupid like 5 hours later.
Yeah, you could just ascend out.
Just go.
Yeah.
I mean, even in speedruns, we barely use Ascend.
Yeah.
Because when you can just fly, like generally
Yeah.
just fly up the cliff, unless you're like deep in a cave or something, because the ascent animation takes so long.
Yeah, it actually, you wouldn't really notice this casually necessarily, but it like takes a different amount of time to ascend through different materials. It's like if you're going through rock, it's really slow.
So you're on your way to the Gerudo Desert, right, Cloud?
We're going to Lookout Landing, which is where we're going to meet Pura. And then we're going to go grab the paraglider. And another iconic Zelda item that we're not supposed to have yet will also be on our route. I was about an inch away from death right there. We completely glossed over it, but I'm doing this glitch called Arrow Smuggle, it involves more menu shenanigans on 1.0 like I was talking about. Something you can do with it is, it's basically a desync state, so the bow on Link's back is kind of always there, but when you try to pull it out, the game still does the animation of pulling it out with an arrow. And in that state, if you do a jump slash midair, it'll cancel the animation on the first frame, and you can kind of chain those together infinitely to carry your momentum super far. And that's how we fly, like I was just doing. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is possible to do on the version I'm on 1.1, but you need to set it up differently. And I haven't learned that. I don't think anybody's actually done runs with that route on this version, where you get error smuggle.
This engine loves their animation cancels for exploits.
Cool. We love that.
Epic.
Yeah, this game is a great thing where...
oh, yeah, go ahead.
You know, when you after you drop 10 materials from the quick menu, the game tells you that you can drop materials from the quick menu.
Oh.
Yeah.
By the way.
Are we about to get a Fortnite question or something? The way you're like,
I wish, but
epic.
no. It's a Metacritic question.
Cloud would get that.
I've been no-lifing Fortnite recently.
That's so real. I want to play, just like grind and like unlock Miku and then just quit.
Oh my god, she's gone now. You'll have to wait for her to come back.
No, it's never gonna happen.
You missed the Miku train.
Tragedy.
Well, all I can do is ask this question, I guess. Which mainline Zelda title has the lowest rating on Metacritic?
Ooh. Four Swords.
Not Four Swords.
Does it even have a separate listing? Because it's combined with the Link this past Kingdom.
I don't know, but it's not that.
Let me verify.
Oh wait, I messed up.
Let's not worry about that. Is it Zelda 1?
Not Zelda 1.
All right, Zelda 2.
Not Zelda 2.
Nope.
That would
Zelda 2 is the second. Zelda 2 is the second lowest. Zelda 1 is the third lowest.
Interesting.
2 is
So
my
close. It is a newer game, I guess.
Triforce
Not
Heroes?
like brand
Is it
new.
Triforce
Oh, it's
Heroes?
Triforce
Yeah, Triforce Heroes,
Yep,
yep.
it is.
I don't even think that should be a mainline Zelda game.
Yeah, it like generally is considered to be kind of like how Forward Swords is, but I don't know. Not my call. But yeah, Triforce Heroes is a Metascore of 73. Zelda 2 has a score of 78. Zelda 1, 84. And everything else is over 85. And then I think OOT is the most with 99 because best game ever, 10 out of 10, no notes. Apparently.
It's the best game ever if you've only played like 3 games.
Goes so hard.
Yep.
Dude, the hungry
Seems really
caterpillar
giving me
goes so
Ocarina
hard
of
if you're
Time
illiterate.
vibes. And I think under that was under OOT is Breath of the Wild, and then Wind Waker, which is tied with Tears of the Kingdom at 96. Breath of the Wild has 97. But most of the games have good reviews, according to website.
Website.com.
Website.com.
Website.com. So that's where you guys are getting all these absurd questions from.
Yeah. Hardest
They've cracked
Zelda
the code.
trivia ever. And then it gives me like some like trivia aggregate that's like, who is the protagonist in The Legend of Zelda? It's like, oh man, that's a tough one. That's gonna stump him for sure.
Yeah.
Well, which game are we talking about? If it's Echoes of Wisdom,
True,
no,
it's true.
It's Zelda.
True. Who is
So
Zelda
If it's
in
Twilight
The Legend of
Princess,
Zelda?
then it's Midna, clearly.
So
Yeah, there's,
I'm doing a detour here that Cloud isn't to go get auto build. Auto build is pretty good in this version. It's not good on 1.0. We'll see the power of auto build shortly after I get it in.
That lag stop had my life flashing before my
Okay,
eyes.
cool.
Crash landing.
Yeah, every single time I go above a certain height, I have to do a fall damage cancel, which requires a couple precise inputs in a row. And if I miss it, I will die. And if I die, I lose Aerosmuggle, and I also lose the other glitch that I just set up, which is Zelgle, which we'll see Glenn doing later on as well, but a different form. Again, we're just abusing the way the game registers dropped weapons from your inventory to stack a bunch of weapons in Link's hand at once. The version that I'm doing, it won't look any different, but the version that Glenn's doing, they'll be in his hand at all times, so it'll lead to some funny effects.
Yeah.
But what Zelgle does, each weapon retains its damage. So you're going to be basically stacking a ton of damage. And then also in my route, I'm going to be using it for overload, which we can explain later on. But that'll basically allow us to like clip through the floor. And cheese a lot of the quest requirements and puzzles, etc.
So I'm going to be using auto build to do a glitch called auto build cancel, and then as a consequence of that, something called auto build cancel slide, or ABCS. So you could say that I know my ABCs.
Ooh.
This is a pretty cool glitch.
It's a pretty
I'm kind
cool
of sad it's not in the route anymore, but we have another pretty cool alternative.
Yeah.
I'm so YouTube poop brained. I thought you were saying I'm gonna use auto build to do a glitch called auto build.
So first I have to build a little contraption for auto build.
Ooh. I love contraptions.
I'm just going to stick two wings together and then do the auto build.
This is like one of the only
So,
tech in speedruns where you'll actually see using Ultra Hand to build something, like a core game mechanic.
Yeah, of course.
can
Why would you ever
pick up the wings,
participate in the game
please?
mechanics?
Alright, so basically the glitch allows me to have kind of the auto build ghost, but still maintain a control of Link, so then I can use a third wing to push it towards me and step on it, and then the game tries to move it away from me while I'm standing on it, and we go zoom.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for the Switch 2 integration with this game, where you can download this build from the web.
Yeah, saves
Off
so
your
much
phone.
time.
Using Nintendo Today.
Yeah, do you think the GPS app will have use in speedruns?
I mean, probably not. I can only see it being useful for 100%, and even then, just memorize where everything is.
Right.
Yeah, just memorize literally everything.
Oh man, I gotta go to the next dungeon. Good resource for learning the speedrun. So
Runners,
download
they just go through the route. Sometimes never forget anything. No notes or nothing. Shout out to a couple of good friends of ours, Nuki, who has the 100% world record for this game, and Player 5, who has 100% world record for Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
Bunch of gamers.
Such large games, 100%.
I'm a fan
Yeah,
of pruning.
Breath of the Wild record is just under 15 hours, and then Tears of the Kingdom is almost double that at like 28 hours.
Well, speaking of long Zelda categories, Twilight Princess's low percent category has an iconic glitch where you stare at a rupee to clip through walls. How long is the current world record for this category?
It's 14
hours?
hours
9
and
hours?
something. I don't know any more.
is-
I feel like you could take 14 hours.
Yeah, it's close enough. It is 13:59:57.
Oh, they got the
Okay.
sub 14 hype.
That's a
Close enough.
huge barrier.
Especially
And
when the
underscore
rupee
D.
slide takes a random amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ann_D currently has it, and the run was done in December 2023. And they posted a video with sped up slides, and that video is 3.5 hours long. So about 10 hours of sliding. Yeah, it used to be like 25 hours or something.
Yeah, it was way longer at one point.
All right, like every good Zelda game, we're gonna go fishing.
Yay.
Although through a bit unconventional mechanic. This ancient arowana is going to allow us to get the Zora armor leader, which we don't actually need for this speedrun innately. We just need a shirt to get into Gerudo Town. They don't care if you're not wearing pants. They just want you to put on a shirt for some reason. And this ends up being the fastest shirt to get by grabbing that fish and then turning it in for the Zora armor leader.
You just have a big sign out that says no shirt, no service.
Yeah. But shoes are no shoes, fine.
Yeah, whatever.
So later on, we're going to be rocking the Zora armor, no pants look.
Match Link's fit.
Despite the fact that I haven't run Breath of the Wild in like 2 years, I still sometimes press D-pad up to change ability. Alright, so I just got the Highline Shield, which is useful to make use of a glitch called Pocket Rocket, which you probably see Cloud doing a lot of.
Rocket rocket.
I did some.
I'm doing it right now, actually.
Yeah. So every time you do a boost with the Pocket Rocket, it does 1 damage of like durability damage to your shield. And the Highline Shield has like 800 durability or something, so that's why we
That's a lot of pocket rockets.
get it. Yeah, it's more than enough for this run, but some of the longer categories will go through multiple shields.
Yeah, Almond Quest uses 3, I think. All Shrines uses probably around at least 10. It's a lot. And then I don't even know for 100%. But here's the power of Zelda. We're going to be able to beat this guy in just a few hits.
Wow. Lionel Schmeimel. True.
Oh, while we're on the topic of using a shield, what is the only Zelda game in which Link cannot use a shield?
Check it.
Oh,
I want to say Four Swords Adventures for some reason.
It is not, but it is kind of on the right track.
okay, we got an extra item. Cool. Is it regular force or?
No.
Is it? Does he have a shield
Still
and
on
Phantom
the right track.
Hourglass? Pippi's gonna be mad at me if I get this wrong.
Is it Triforce
Link
Heroes?
does have a shield.
It is Triforce Heroes again.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. I think that's the last Triforce Heroes question.
So I just did a glitch there called weapon state transfer, where you can transfer some properties of one weapon to another. So I transferred having 1 durability to the message not found. And the message not found sword is special in that it never ever takes durability damage. So now it'll be forever at 1 durability, which makes it do double damage all the time.
Thank you, message not found.
So that clip I just did saves like 15 minutes. Because otherwise we'd have to go and do a bunch of shrines to get hard containers to open the door, but you can just clip right into the mask room. So this is obviously where the routes are going to be diverging pretty heavily. We won't converge for quite a while. So it's going to be hard to tell like who's ahead until we get to Fire Temple.
I mean, I can probably tell who's ahead. But
Oh yeah.
it's not me.
You just have a sense, and it's like, well, look, you're ahead in trivia time, so maybe that'll make up for it.
Maybe.
We still got a lot of this run to go.
I would not be surprised. If Glenn wins on trivia questions. I'm getting exposed as a fake Zelda fan tonight.
Well, if you're a true Zelda fan, you would know this. Hardest question so far this stream. Which Zelda game is first in the timeline?
Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword, you did it.
There you
You're a
go.
true Zelda-er. Congratulations.
I love Skyward Sword.
See?
Me too. Skyward Sword.
Just believe in yourself.
Okay, this is a bit overkill. But actually, I'll do more rockets.
Could probably make a whole show about Zelda timeline questions.
Probably.
Zelda timeline questions and Zelda timeline retcon questions.
I will not be there no matter what.
So now I have these Zuggold Master Swords, like Cloud was mentioning, which will always be in Link's hand. So he's going to do some funny things, like he's going to stab himself here repeatedly.
Ouch.
As one does.
As one does.
Yeah, it happens.
You know, don't worry about where his sword is.
What a,
When you don't
what a
read the
dastardly
instruction book
device
on your
for Rush.
lightsaber.
It's got the reverse grip on it too. Kind of dig that.
Okay, well, like what, almost an hour into the run or so, we're finally at our first dungeon. I believe out of all dungeon speedruns, Tears of the Kingdom takes the longest to actually get to a dungeon, at least from the 3D games, and probably the 2D games too, because they're not that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume so.
But it's not actually the longest all dungeons speedrun. Well, basically, now that we're at the dungeon, we spend so much time getting off Great Sky Island and then doing prep work to get the paraglider and such. It eats up a bunch of time, but once we get the dungeons going, they go through pretty quickly each.
What is the longest all dungeon speedrun?
TP, right?
Twilight Princess. Yeah, Twilight Princess.
Yeah, TP's
Okay.
like
I'll let you know
around
this.
just under 4 hours.
It's like 3.5.
3.5 is record, yeah.
I think
That
3.
makes sense.
I think 3:28 is record.
Yeah, it's not even that much slower than the 90% run.
That's like 2.5 extra dungeons or something.
Yeah, any percent
Yeah.
has to do a lot of stuff already.
Yeah, 80% kind of just like skips like the middle dungeon in each major part of the game.
Oh, okay, this is not one.
But if you guys have played this game casually, you know that Construct Factory, we're basically assembling this mech body for Minoru. We have to go through these 4 depots and like carry the parts through different puzzle rooms. And we're not going to be doing any of that. We're just going to perform a glitch to hold the gate open and just march out the front door with each of the box pieces.
Dude, the game makes you feel so cool with the robot just for it to do like 1 damage.
My goodness.
It's so lame. But yeah, what were you saying?
Back in the route when I was running the route that Glen's doing, this is probably one of my least favorite dungeons, but now it's one of my favorite in the speedrun. The tricks are super flashy.
Well, while you're working on that, in which game can you find the character Uncle Rupee?
That's got to be like Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land.
Well, it's not Triforce Heroes, we know that.
Yeah, it is freshly picked Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land.
Freshly
I've
picked.
never played those games.
Freshly picked.
Delightful.
I just love the name of that game. Yep, Uncle Rupee is the main antagonist, actually.
Antagonist.
Yep, he gets like consumed by like
What's Uncle Rupee up to?
rupees or something. I should put Uncle Rupee in Smash. Yep, Uncle Rupee is responsible for turning the just normal guy into Tingle, and then he's
So
like
he created Tingle?
So the lore of the Tingle game is complex in that Tingle is just a guy.
Yeah.
Like, the story starts when Tingle, first appearing as an ordinary middle-aged man, is offered a life in a paradise called Rupee Land. And then Uncle Rupee is like, here you go.
So it's an isekai pretty much.
Kind of.
Oh, God.
And then Uncle Rupee's like, give me rupees. And then he keeps demanding rupees. And then he becomes like overcome by his greed. And then you defeat him. And that's the game. It's a game.
Incredible.
This is a lot about society.
Yeah.
Let's see how good my aim is. Pretty good. I actually almost forgot those bright bloom seeds after the first shrine. If I didn't remember to go back and get them, I would have lost almost 2 minutes because I wouldn't have been able to do this trick as efficiently. That's an equipment desync.
Oh,
So the game thinks that the bow is still attached to Link pretty much, and therefore the wing. So when I activate this portal here, normally it closes the gate, but the game reads Link as standing in the doorway, so it won't shut the gate.
Also, for those asking in chat, there are multiple Tingle games. That is not the only one.
I only know
There's 3.
2. Oh, there's 3. Okay.
There's 3 and also like a DSiWare app that doesn't really do anything. There's a freshly picked Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land. There's Tingle's Balloon Fight DS.
Right.
And there's Ripened Tingle's Balloon Trip of Love, which, that's interesting. So...
Look, I'm an
believe-
unironic Tingle enjoyer, so...
I don't think any of those are released in the US.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, freshly picked was Japan and the UK/Ireland.
Oh my goodness.
Balloon Fight was
Why?
Japan. I don't know why just the UK. And then the last one is also only Japan. So there you go.
I'm clearly
Oh, that
walking on
first game was
floor. Okay,
perfect.
now I...
Yes.
You think the speedrun for any of these is good? Any percent's 4 hours for freshly picked. That's a lot.
It's probably just like grinding
optimized is
rupees
it?
the whole time.
Is my question.
The last run was 5 years ago, so there might be room for improvement. I'm not saying that they didn't do a good job back then, but you never know.
I'm just gonna go ahead and believe that they learned everything there is to learn about the
Yeah.
game speedrun back then. So
They're
we never
actually
hope so.
forget about
way
it.
ahead of their time, and
Yeah.
they
Yeah, I think giving
they
it like
did the
15
greatest
years.
speedrun of all time, but nobody even knows about it because no one's heard of that game.
Someone
Everybody
needs
say
to make
hi
a video essay about
Faraj.
this.
We
this,
did a history of Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land.
Yes. I'm for it. All right, I have a question, but give me 1 second.
So
All right, I have a
fact check
mountain to
before they commit.
Oh, no, I just need to fix something.
Okay. What are you saying, Glenn?
Still not fixed.
Oh, I have a mountain to yeet my way up.
Nice.
Oh, there you go.
Look at you go. Well done.
All right. A question I have for you is, you need the expansion pack to play Majora's Mask. What two other N64 games require it for at least a majority of the game?
Oh,
I only know Donkey Kong 64,
That is one of them.
but I don't know the other.
It's definitely not one you really think of. I assume it was bundled with the expansion pack, but
Animal
Conker's
Crossing.
Bad
Is there an
Fur Game,
Animal
isn't it?
Crossing 64?
it is neither of those. It is another rare game.
Is it Banjo-Tooie?
It is not.
The only other
It's a
one I
rare
know
game
of
that's
on
not a platformer.
N64 is Diddy Kong Racing.
Nope.
They have
Which I didn't
non-platformers
think
on the
it
Nintendo
was.
64?
Yep, it's a rare game that's not.
Perfect Dark.
There you go.
Yeah.
Technically, you can play a couple things in Perfect Dark without the expansion pack, but effectively nothing. So Rare says that you can only play 35% of the game without it, so that's enough to require it.
Yeah.
And then yeah, DK64 needs it as well. Not because there was a memory leak, that is false information. We talked about that when we had DK64 on the show, because I love recycling questions.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I wasn't gonna mention it unless you did.
Look, back then, the question was, DK64 requires the expansion pack. What other two games require it? So come on, it's a different question.
It's like same
N64.
worksheet, different year of
Technically,
students.
different question. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the answers is the same.
N64 was my first ever console, and the only games I had were Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and Star Fox.
I did not own an N64. We had a PS1.
Apparently, I'm weird for never having owned a GameCube.
I don't think it's that weird.
The GameCube wasn't as popular as people think it is.
Yeah, it didn't do very well.
Like, I was a young child around the time the GameCube was big, so I had one, but
Yeah, like if you liked video games, you probably had a GameCube, but like normal people, no way.
Yeah, the GameCube was more or less like a flop,
Yeah.
but a lot of it, it still sold well.
Yeah, it's not as bad as the Wii U, for instance. But
Right. It still sold well, but compared to the Wii, it obviously sold so much fewer.
Wii DS, it was definitely not anywhere close to that.
And yeah, it sold a lot. It sold less than the Xbox, and obviously it sold less from the PS2 because that's still the most sold console ever.
Allegedly.
Until the Switch 2.
I thought the Switch beat it. Did it only get
The Switch is the Switch was about to beat it, but then Sony was like, actually, there were 5 million more sales were reported.
Yeah.
Like last year or 2 years ago or something.
They just pulled it out.
Yeah, they just
so right
Miles
now,
Edgeworthed it.
Top 3 right now is PS2 with over 160 million. Again, yeah, maybe. Then the Nintendo DS at 154.02, and then the Switch with 150.86 million. So close enough.
Okay, here I'm
Finally
going to show off
making my way
my alternative to Glen's auto-go cancel slides. This is Magic Carpet.
Ooh.
Well, it was until I fell. Okay, we're gonna come back here because these guys are super annoying.
I hated this part.
Yeah, it's like we just did this whole dungeon. Now let's go to the real dungeon. Oh wait. Okay.
I was really confused by that
I'm gonna
part
redo
because I
something.
didn't do it last. So I just found it and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, is this a dungeon? Alright, I'm gonna do a trick called Ghost Stick Clip, which is prone to crashing sometimes, so that could be fun. I shouldn't have said that. Oh,
everything's fine. How about we do one more question and then we can go to our first break, if that's all right with you?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, that works.
All right. If the London Bridge actually was falling down, what river would it fall into?
The Thames.
That is right.
Yeah.
It's not a river of Hyrule.
All right, well, that was a quick one. So in that case, yeah, we're good for the first break. If y'all want to pause on a countdown.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
All right, well, let's pause in
hold on. I'm going to cut scene right here. Just 1 second.
Yeah, you're good. 3, long wait. 2.5.
All right, we're good.
2, 1, pause. Okay.
Good enough.
Perfect countdown. All right. We are not going anywhere. We'll be back in just a little bit after this break with more Tears of the Kingdom. But first, we have a couple announcements.
That's right, Swiss. Hey, don't you know, Summer Games Done Quick 2025 will be live in Minneapolis from July 6th to July 13th. You can register to attend the event by May 26th. That's over a month. You have so much time. Get it done, though. You can use the SGDQ command in Twitch chat to visit, or you can visit the GamesDoneQuick.com website for more info. And also with that, Games Done Quick is hiring. If you love creative work and have experience in planning and organizing, apply to be a prize assistant at our mainline events. You can visit the GamesDoneQuick.com website /jobs at the end of the URL to apply by May 11th. And one more thing regarding that, are you a streamer with a community that loves to support charitable causes? You can apply to become an SGDQ ambassador. Join our group of creators that will be raising money for Doctors Without Borders this upcoming June. Select streamers will raise money for the charity and have the chance to attend the event as guests of GDQ and MSF. Use the SGDQ ambassadors command in chat for more info and apply by April 27th. Yep, and now we can go ahead for our first break.
Welcome back to Think Fast, the speedrunning game show of fast times and sharp minds. If you're just joining us, I'm your host, Swoos.
And I'm also your host, Sparkle.
In case you forgot how the game works, it's not enough to simply beat the game the fastest. Our runners are answering our trivia questions as they play, and the more questions they get right, the more seconds we take off their final time. Once again, everybody watching at home, feel free to play along in chat. It looks like Glan's ahead in trivia, and I don't really know who's ahead in game, but I'm sure Glan will say Cloud, so... We'll see.
Loud.
We will see how it goes in this next bit of game. So if y'all are ready to go.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Yep.
The only way to find out is to think fast. In 3, 2, 1, go.
So what you two up to?
So I am finishing off the Spirit Temple. The real dungeon is Construct Factory. The Spirit Temple is basically just a boss arena. And we're going to be taking down the Seas Construct, which has the most HP of any of the dungeon bosses. And I actually think it has more HP than Ganondorf himself, if I'm not mistaken.
A lot of HP.
They really wanted to shoehorn you into using like the Rock'em Sock'em robot mechanic.
Yeah,
to, like,
they really thought it was fun, so they really wanted you to keep playing.
Electric fence.
Yeah.
We're required to use this.
I am just starting the lead up towards Spirit Temple, but I'm not as far behind as that might seem because on this route we do a bunch of other stuff before this that the route Cloud is doing does not do. So I have a bunch of stuff already done.
Yep.
That she'll have to do later.
Did you get to King Scale yet?
I just have the mask now.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're pretty far.
So Cloud
We're gonna see an emerging pattern. Oh, sorry, go for it.
I was gonna say Cloud 1 fought this Lionel on the way here, but for this route we're gonna fight it on the way back.
Let's try it again.
My cat's decided she has enough.
I like the little wrestling ring this puts you in.
Oh, that's very bad, actually. Well, I have a long walk to do now. I'm gonna do a little trick here, where I'm going to basically trick the game into giving me 2 Savage Final Bows by picking it up while I don't have a bow equipped, and then switching to the bow that I had already in the prompt. Trying to pick up these arrows. Please, video game.
There you go.
Unfortunately, I messed up a glitch, so I'm going to be doing a lot of running here. Yay.
Well, while you're running, what is the only Zelda game to contain Totaka's song?
Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
That is it. And DX and the remake, but good enough.
Yeah. I have run Link's Awakening remakes. Decently well versed in that. That's definitely
Makes
what I wanted to do. Probably should have just done an ABCS here.
Well then.
Oh yeah, you're really taking the scenic route.
Yeah.
Well then.
Is this the microwave sound we're hearing?
Yep. Highly microwave.
I'm still waiting for somebody to make like a
Well then.
message not found 10-hour
Well then.
ASMR.
Dude,
Put it
wait,
on-
that would go
put it
so
on
hard.
YouTube.
Write that down, write that down.
And then have it occasionally interrupted by Pikmin noises.
I'm a big fan of the YouTube video. It's like 10 hours of silence occasionally interrupted by Mario screaming.
Screaming.
And it's like SM64 Mario. When he falls. Yeah.
It's like the only scream he has.
Definitely something you just put on and get to work for the day.
Yeah.
Alright, so Glenn's already done the first half of the Water Temple quest, and I have done 0 of it, so we're going to be making our way to do that next. Just kind of progress through the whole thing while he does all of Spirit Temple.
All one boss of Spirit Temple.
Well, hey, I feel like we haven't had
a
a...
similar.
Oh, I was just saying, we haven't had a water question in a while. We can't have that
Oh, true.
on our water Zelda themed stream. So check this out. About how much of Earth's water is fresh water?
I think it's 3%.
3%. Yep, you got it on the mark.
Yeah, that's it.
And from that, 2.5% of Earth's water is unavailable because it's all frozen. Glaciers, ice caps, vapor, etc. Or I guess evaporated, yeah. So only 0.5% of Earth's water is available for consumption. That being said, there's about 2.2 million gallons of fresh water per person on Earth, which is over quadrillions of gallons total. So fret not, you'll have plenty to drink for the rest of your life, ideally.
I'm from Canada, where we have most of the world's fresh water.
It's true. Got a lot of lakes.
So here's a better look at our magic carpet glitch, and you can see why we call it that. So basically how this works is this Claymore at Link's feet, or what we call a drop smuggle, it retains its collision. So I kind of use recall to help the cart float midair so I can get the collision stuck underneath the cart, and then when I walk forward, it propels it forward.
It's so smooth looking.
It's really nice, and it just pilots itself. Like my hands are not on the controller.
Yeah, and then
nice
Blood
line.
Moon anyway.
Yeah, so the first of like the 4 towns that you go to, there's a forced Blood Moon trigger there.
Oh, I see.
So that's why on the route that I'm doing, we go to do some of the Fire and Water Temple lead-ups first, because if you ABCS into that trigger, you get like kicked off the slide. So Goron City is the only one where you can actually go above the trigger. Or
ABCS is notoriously unstable, especially compared to these cart slides.
It's very cool, but it is unstable.
Whoa. Yes.
And I think we haven't brought up yet the fact that we are playing in Spanish text and English voice acting. That's the fastest combination for this category.
I was expecting that to be faster.
Sure.
Shield surfing is so mysterious. Yeah.
It's okay. Coming up here, I'm gonna actually get rockets in my inventory. Okay, don't shield surf downstairs, I guess.
I like how unbalanced Link is.
I mean, that would happen in real life.
Yeah, I would be too. You know, it's not inconsistent.
Oh.
Actually, this is kind of
Trivia?
inconsistent with whatever. How could you obtain My Nintendo Picross, The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess?
Goodbye to my theories, I guess.
You buy it?
No. Yes, but no.
You buy.
There's only one way to obtain this game.
A launch bundle
No.
in Japan
Nope.
with a special code. I have no clue.
There was a code. How'd you get the code?
Buy. Twilight
from your
Princess
McDonald's
HD.
Happy Meal.
It is neither of those. That'd be funny though if it was just toy and a Happy Meal. And no, it does not have to do with the base game of Twilight Princess or HD. This was a 3DS exclusive app, effectively.
Oh, interesting.
And you do purchase it, but not with real world money.
You buy it with, I don't know, coins in Mario.
It's some sort of coin, kind of.
V-Bucks.
Is it like points from
It's
like
not
buying
V-Bucks.
digital games or something in the eShop?
You were very close.
Yeah, I wouldn't know this. I'm a fake gamer. I just play Zelda and Fortnite, and that's about it.
You don't know about My Nintendo Picross, The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess?
I can't say I do.
Not
Oh yeah, that was a
particularly.
beloved childhood title. Yeah, I know.
So, purchasing games on the eShop at least used to give you points for something.
Oh,
And those points, or another variant of those points, could have been used to purchase this. But what was the program?
It's like
what was the
Street
program?
Pass or something.
Nope. This is currently, or it is now discontinued because, well, kind of just because the 3DS like eShop is down. This program is still a thing, and you can still earn points for it.
Nintendo loyalty reward.
Yeah, basically, My Nintendo is what it's called.
My Nintendo.
Yeah.
The successor to Club Nintendo.
Ancient mine it when that's still like, I guess no, there's still My Nintendo rewards, right?
Yeah, My Nintendo is still a thing.
Yeah.
I
but
really
I'm
can't
learning
claim
that-
anything
get
for
like
3DS
super
anymore.
into the 3DS.
Words and phrases and combinations.
Yeah.
I've never heard them before today.
Yeah, so it cost 1,000 platinum points, which were the free currency that you get through, like, I don't even know how you get them. You like check into the website every day and you get some. And there's other ways to earn them. I don't know, but yep. And it was technically free. Or like 45 Picross puzzles. Anyways, Club Nintendo was a lot better.
Gonna file that away in the section of my brain for never gonna need that info again.
Yeah, if you go to my Nintendo right now and redeem points, you can get great things such as wallpapers for your computer and
True love.
You can get a PDF to print off stuff for Donkey Kong Country Returns HD.
Close enough.
That's cool. You can get a wallpaper for Fitness Boxing 3, your personal trainer. Really cool stuff.
Dude, that's hype. I'm gonna have to get on that.
Yep.
I remember getting the Club Nintendo Smash 4 posters all the way back in like 2014.
Here's the CD they gave out. Club Nintendo had some great rewards. I mean, my Nintendo has some physical things, like there's a Tears of the Kingdom keychain.
Ow.
There's a Splatoon 3 shopping bag.
Oh.
You know, great things that you need.
I'm currently going through Construct Factory, doing, again, kind of a similar thing Cloud did, but different means. Here I'm using Fuse Entanglement to attach a wing to a shield, but not actually. And then sticking it in the doorway, and because the game thinks it's on the shield, like Link's shield, it doesn't unload it during the cutscene, and then... Okay, that's really cool. I grabbed the tree.
Yes.
Going through the depths is really fun because you definitely know where you are.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's another example of basically like same ends, different means that we were talking about between versions. But I have caught up in the water quest to where Glenn had finished off. So I'm a little bit ahead on that segment, but there's still part of the fire quest that I'm behind on, so it's not a one-to-one comparison. And now we're gonna be finally putting on a shirt.
Yippee.
Or boo.
Yeah, or boo, depending on your opinions.
Yeah.
I think Link is pretty cute.
Yeah.
I like him having his hair down in this game compared to Breath of the Wild.
Agreed. They call me crazy, but I prefer his look in this game.
Oh, speaking of the look of Link,
Oh no.
Ocarina of Time Link was allegedly modeled after which actor?
Oh, I've definitely heard this at some point in my life. And probably filed it away in the part of my brain, which is I'm never gonna
Are we
need to know.
talking like adult Link or child Link?
Yes, I believe adult Link. Let me see what the actor's age was when OOT came out. Actually, I don't know. It looks like it's adult Link. But when OOT came out, this actor was
to pick a 90s actor.
Arguably one of the biggest actors in the 90s, actually.
Is it Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yes.
That's it.
Oh my god.
Wait,
The snipe.
really?
That's it.
The dark recesses of your mind.
Find,
That's actually
I could
crazy.
not find a solid source. Like I couldn't find like an interview where they said it, but it is heavily implied, I believe, that it was this. So,
You know what? Now that you mention it, I can kind of see the resemblance, like just a little bit.
a little bit, yeah.
A tiny bit.
Yeah. Yep, yeah. Apparently it was like the interview was done and it was like the illustrator said at that time, if you were to talk about a really good looking actor, people immediately thought of this guy, not saying the actual name, but like around that time, that was around when Titanic came out, so it makes sense.
Well, I'm really glad it was DiCaprio because that's like the only blonde,
Honestly,
90s heartthrob actor that I can think of.
So, I'm gonna have a pretty difficult thing coming up here in a sec after I dupe a few things on Minoru.
One consistency between the routes is the slide section from Concert Factory to Spirit Temple is incredibly annoying.
Yeah.
Let's hope Glenn can fare better than I did.
So here, it's pitch black in the depths, and wait. So it's pitch black here. You can't really see, but there's basically a big cliff in front of me that I have to go over, but then I have to immediately pull back down because otherwise I'll hit the ceiling. Yeah, it's unfortunate. That stalactite is like perfectly placed to be annoying.
They knew.
They knew.
But do you know? What Zelda game's game over screen is the only one that is technically canon?
Zelda
Link
2.
Link 2, oh my god. Adventure of Link Zelda 2.
Why?
Because Ganon is revived.
Because in order to revive Ganon, they need to mix Link's blood into his ashes.
Yeah.
Canon in terms of...
That's the actual lore.
Canon in terms of the overarching series.
Oh.
Not just like there's a
Ocarina of
cutscene
Time.
after the game over screen. Yeah, it's
Oh.
OOT.
Damn.
Because timeline splits, because of course. But I'll give you extra for the Link,
Yeah.
the
Cloud,
Link
I'm
2
doing
one.
Poe strands. Picking up a Poe. It's the new meta.
And look at that, we're here at Water Temple, our thematic dungeon for the day.
Whoa.
Yeah, well, I mean,
We love
you want
water.
water questions so bad.
Yay,
man.
water.
I've seen multiple
drinking my
people rank
water.
this as the worst dungeon in the entire series.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's reasonable. It's really underwhelming and just kind of boring.
Water Temple?
Yeah, it's cool. Like
think-
they were kind of
Sounds like
cooking with the
fun.
low gravity, but like I don't know. It feels a little half baked at the
Hey,
end.
speaking of low water, going off of elevation, what is the lowest body of water on Earth?
Oh. The Dead Sea.
The Dead Sea.
That's
Well
it.
done.
Use your power.
Slow water. It's like, yeah,
Then you can
Yeah, I get
topical.
it.
I've been
Low
there
water.
before.
Ooh,
But that's
I've seen it on Google Street View.
My turn to fight Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Just seen it on Google Street View.
You know, sometimes that's all you get. Traveling's expensive.
Real.
And my strats
Wait,
for Water
what?
Temple, since go on.
That was cool.
Since I have overload, I can clip through these steering sticks through the floor and activate the bubble ability to hit those water wheels without needing Sidon to actually come down here, so we can skip all those puzzles.
Yeah, Water Temple's actually completely different between these versions, so I'm gonna be doing a completely different route there.
And this one right here, T2, is the hardest for sure. I'm gonna go for what we call Cloud Cycle, named after an individual that came up with that.
Oh, I wonder who.
I might have got it. If I'm not too far forward. All right, very nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
that saves anywhere from 10 to like 40 seconds. Because if you miss that, you're relying on the RNG of Sidon to run up to you. Because if you leave that gate, it's going to close again. And you have to reclip. We love strats that get rid of RNG.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Sidon is. I feel like Sidon in particular is really uncooperative.
Yep, and we're already halfway done with the temple. There's just 4 terminals.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like in Breath of the Wild, they were all 5 terminals, but some of them are only 4 in this game.
Let's make it easier. Alright, sometimes you just see something that's interesting, and you probably don't know it, but it's cool. In the Wind Waker's title theme music, whose real-world mandolin playing is sampled?
You know, can't say I know a lot of famous mandolin players.
Well, good thing you don't have to. This is not a musician.
Oh? Is
The,
it-
like, known for being a
Is
musician.
it Koji
sense, at least.
Kondo?
No.
Is it Aonuma?
Nope. You're on the right track, though.
Is it Miyamoto?
Yes.
It is.
Let's go. I'm just gonna start throwing out Zelda devs until we get
The
it.
Nintendo
Non-musician, yeah.
buzzwords.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really interesting. It's
Iwata was
did
my
not
next
know
guess.
basically, as far as I'm aware, he wasn't like playing the melody in the title, but the like mandolin sounds were his samples at least. So effectively, like in a way. Yeah, that was really interesting. I don't even know how I found that. I think I was looking at like Wind Waker trivia.
Okay, this is
It's like, huh.
really high. Said 2 inputs even.
The sludge is everywhere. Let's use water to clear some away.
All right, here's a freebie.
Okay.
What is the highest selling Zelda game of all time?
Ocarina of Time.
It's not Ocarina of Time.
Breath of the
Breath
Wild.
of the Wild.
It's Breath of the Wild, yep.
You both got that. The double freebie cancels out.
Ocarina of Time.
Yep. Breath of the Wild has over 32 million sales. Tears of the Kingdom has over 20 million and is second.
Yeah, they got through to the
Switch was
non-Zelda
popular.
normies.
Yep. How much did Twilight Princess sell? 8.8. It was the best-selling Zelda game until Breath of the Wild, which makes sense
Really?
because the Wii.
Yeah.
Swing the Wiimote, and you get a combo.
And you have a couple GameCube sales as well.
Yeah.
Couple.
Just 2 or 3.
A couple.
And they were all
Handful.
speedrunners.
Myself included.
Yeah, so looking at
I
this chart,
am a
it's
speedrunner and I have the GameCube versions. Checks out, I guess.
yeah, so the first Legend of Zelda sold like 6.5 mil. Ocarina of Time sold almost 8. Twilight Princess sold almost 9. And then Breath of the Wild sold like 30. So between then, everything else was lower.
No!
But now we get to
Alright.
sit through what we effectively call fish drama, which Breath of the Wild also has, and Echoes of Wisdom also has. For some reason, every time you go through the Zora segment, they just love to talk and talk and talk.
Silent's just so proud of you.
I guess.
Well, in that case, natural follow-up to the previous question. What is the lowest selling mainline Zelda game?
Is it Triforce Heroes?
It is not.
I was gonna guess that,
like,
and I was like, that's a bit
I
too on the
think
nose.
that's like the second lowest.
Yeah, it's funny you say that.
Yeah, it always comes back to Triforce Heroes.
My guess is Four Swords Adventures.
That's it. Yep.
That game's really good though. It's a shame.
Yeah, I think a lot of the partly because of the GameCube and also because you need multiple GBAs and multiple link cables. I think that's the only quote-unquote mainline Zelda game that hasn't sold 1 million. It was like 807,000 sales. Triforce Heroes was 1.3 million.
Well, I was one of them. Well, actually, my parents were, but you know, same thing.
Apparently, FSA has a really good speedrun, but I haven't got around to watching it ever.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really hard though. A lot of really cool tech. I am now wearing a shirt.
Congratulations.
Once again, yay or awe, depending on your feelings.
Congratulations.
Okay, we're gonna have to do a bit of maneuvering here. So now we're going to Goron City, and we're almost caught up with where Glenn was.
Is drama over?
This drama over. For now.
For now.
Now we got rock people drama.
Drama.
It's always drama.
Lame.
I haven't even entered Water Temple yet, so it's quite far ahead of me.
Well, as always, that just means there's more time for trivia questions.
Water
is
trivia
true.
Questions.
Such as... What is the only game in which Ganon's beast form is controllable and playable without hacks?
Is it Hyrule Warriors?
Yes.
It is.
I don't really
You
remember
are so good at answering
that.
questions.
Yeah, really. Super Smash Bros. Brawl may be accepted. Not really. It's not really
You press the
controllable.
B button and then he just
Yeah,
does
not
a
really controllable,
slide.
but-
Yeah.
I actually don't really remember that, but it seemed like a good guess because you can
Yeah.
play Ganondorf.
Right. Yeah, and his final smash, he turns into Beast Ganon. But yeah, he kind of just, you press the button and then he does an attack and that's it. He doesn't transform or anything.
I'm gonna be honest, I totally forgot Hyrule Warriors exist.
He just announced a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of those.
I think they're relatively popular. I've never played one.
Surely.
I really liked the
ever,
original
but-
one. It was pretty
Yeah.
fun. I couldn't really get an Age of Calamity, but
Well, maybe you'll enjoy Age of Imprisonment,
I might,
releasing
'cause I
exclusively on
like-
Nintendo Switch 2.
Tears of the Kingdom way more than Breath of the Wild, so
Right.
Alright, so I'm officially caught up to where Glenn was, so I think that means I'm in the lead.
yeah. By an entire dungeon.
Well, if that dungeon is less than 1 minute, you're tied in trivia time. But I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the dungeon does not take 1 minute.
The cutscene after the dungeon is like 4 minutes.
Well, that's okay. because at this point we are halfway through our questions. So that means there's a whole nother, a lot of them.
And we are about halfway through the run.
Potentially more water themed as we go along.
I mean, I am almost at Water Temple.
Yeah, we'll hold off on the water ones until you get in there. All right, this one is a multiple choice. I'll give you each one guess, and if you get it right, you get it right. If you don't, you don't. We know Link's dominant hand changes in several games. However, which is his dominant hand in Mario Kart 8?
Well, surely one of us has to get this right.
You both will get a guess, so feel free to guess.
Really?
I'll go with left.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
It's left.
Let's go.
Just based off which hand he holds the Master Sword in.
I was gonna say, how do you tell? But no, he holds the Master Sword in one of his tricks.
Yeah.
That's how you can tell.
Yep.
Oh.
It's so funny Link is in that game. They were funny for that.
Yeah.
So we were joking about Mineru's damage earlier, but actually this is a perfect opportunity. We actually use her for combat in the speedrun. During the Yunobo quote-unquote boss fight, each of his 3 phases, he only has 1 HP, so you can literally throw like an apple or whatever at him. Or just slap him.
I forgot to use a speed food. I can use it now.
I don't think I've ever played Mario Kart 8 before.
Really?
Yeah.
You've avoided it these past 11 years?
I only played the Wii U version.
That's somehow even weirder.
This a lot to people on stream. Like, I'm not a gamer. I literally like only play Zelda and like a handful of other games.
That's fair.
I mean, like,
I don't play a lot of games. I play a few games a lot of times.
I mean, like, speedrunning Zelda
like
is like it's very high maintenance. If you want to like stay good, you have to keep playing a lot. So it makes sense.
Yeah. I'm already super rusty at this game, and I haven't been. The last time I was grinding a category in this game was like just a couple months ago. I'm already rusty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I learned Twilight Princess any percent. It's so fun and I love playing it, but it's like it's just so much. It's like it's actually a huge commitment to like keep playing to get better. It's like you gotta be super locked in. I don't have what it takes. I'm too weak.
Commit yourself to speedrunning Zelda.
Yeah.
I definitely have not. I just played 3D platformers and have a good time.
Yeah, so Water Temple for me, very different route. While Cloud was clipping into behind the gates from above, I'm going to be clipping in from below with Ascend. Not even a glitch. For this one, you can just go over here on this pillar and Ascend. It's that easy.
Yeah. There's so much stuff in this game where it's just like, you don't need a glitch. You can just kind of do that and it works.
The devs put some thought in it.
It's funny because there's so many places that they purposefully block you from ascending so you can't access early. But they missed just a couple spots that you can exploit that.
Hey, water.
Water.
What are the names of the Great Lakes?
Superior, Huron, Erie, Michigan, and I'm a fraud.
Ontario.
Ontario.
Yeah. He got the Canada one.
You got the Canada one.
That's
Look,
4 for
4 out of
Cloud.
5 touch
Yeah,
Canada.
4 for Cloud, 1 for Glenn. Well done.
You just gotta remember homes. If you ever need to remember the names of the Great Lakes.
True.
Yeah.
Or Shmio.
I mean, we both live kind of close to Great Lakes, but like the opposite ends.
Shmio is order by surface area. Yep.
I mean, it's also just a cooler word.
Alright, let's go for a snipe here. Very nice. Optimal fight.
So for this one, this is going to be a little more complicated. I'm going to drop a wing here and then recall it so I get some time standing still. Wait, is that going to work? We'll see. No.
Huh?
Okay, this is not good. Just try that one again.
Nice.
This game
trick is,
involves
like-
so much. Just like diving out of the sky to talk to people.
As you do.
This trick is like one of those weird ones. It's like it's really easy, but it's also really hard.
Makes sense.
Very annoying.
Well, in that case, another water one. This one's good. What 4 countries have reclaimed over 1,000 square kilometers of land from oceans and seas?
Ooh, Netherlands for sure.
Yep. That is only the second most, though.
Reclaim land.
What if I say Bangladesh?
No.
Don't give up!
Not a bad idea, though. 2 of these make sense just on surface area alone. I don't know about the third one.
Hang in there, Goro!
Okay, let's try other countries in that area. Denmark? Belgium?
Netherlands is the only one from Europe on this list, actually.
Okay.
Australia.
Neither of those. Japan is close geographically to 2 of these.
Philippines.
Hey!
No.
South Korea.
South Korea is 1.
Russia.
Very close.
China.
China's 1. Last one is also just a large country.
Oh.
Yep.
Large countries.
And it is not difficult.
Is it Canada?
It is not Canada.
Is it the United States?
It's the US.
Hey!
China is 13,000 square kilometers. Netherlands is 7,000. South Korea is 1,500. US is 1,000. And that 7,000 from the Netherlands is almost 20% of its land area.
I'm curious where the reclaimed land in the United States is. If I had to guess, it'd be like southern Florida.
Yeah, I'll go take a look actually, because I'm not 100% sure.
Or maybe Louisiana or something.
Right. Let's see.
That was a good question. That one really stumped me.
Definitely not one you think of, other than Netherlands. So some instances of reclaimed land in the U.S. is the Chicago shoreline, parts of New Orleans, a lot of places near San Francisco Bay in California.
The gate you must pass is firmly locked with 5 padlocks.
Some places in Miami,
You have the power to unlock them all.
and also some places near New York City. So major cities near water, basically.
I guess that makes sense. You wouldn't really want to necessarily need to reclaim land in like places where it's not going to get used.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Netherlands is kind of struggling with staying above water at this point. Unfortunately.
Yeah, they're not really above the water.
Well, they're struggling to not be underwater, I suppose.
Oh, real life Zora's domain.
Yeah, their average elevation is 30 meters or 98 feet. That's low.
That must be the.
Speaking of depressing water facts, while swimming and bathing was banned in this river in 1923, what river did the Olympics have the swimmers compete in anyways?
You said 1993.
1923. Swimming and bathing was banned in this river, but the Olympics still had their swimming events, some swimming events there anyways, recently.
Was it the Seine in Paris?
Yes, it is.
Pronounce that? Don't take points off for pronunciation, please.
I believe it's the Seine,
Seine.
but
Yeah.
whatever.
Cool water facts. People get sick.
And yeah, people got sick, unsurprisingly, so great job.
3 to go.
It was better recently, though, and
A little bit. There was
Allegedly.
a big cleanup project. Yeah, there was a big cleanup project, and then after that, it still wasn't great.
yeah.
Yeah, there were a couple events got pushed back. I remember that. And then they eventually had them anyways. So like, yeah, it's good enough, go ahead. And then people got sick, so.
Shocking.
I can't wait for on the Switch 2 for Fire Temple to run at a functional frame rate. The lag here is so bad, especially on version 1.0, because 1.1.1 that Glen's playing on has like performance updates.
Right. Yeah, I kind of want to get a Switch 2 just so I can play Switch 1 games at like a decent frame rate. I don't really care about the upgrade packs or anything.
Yeah.
Only one.
Like if I can play Pokemon at 30 FPS even, that's fine.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what it's all about.
Oh, gosh. So here's one of those things we were talking about earlier where it's not a glitch, but it's just like they just let you do that.
Thanks, game.
Here I go. Sure. That's all. The door.
Alright, I'm trying to find a stumper. I don't know. Y'all know so much.
Stumper slumper, yeah. Our contestants are too smart. It's no
Honestly.
fun.
Alright. New Hyrule is the setting for which Zelda game?
Spirit Tracks.
Spirit Tracks.
You know too much.
Cloud said it first.
Yeah. There's not enough like different places that aren't like super unique, that aren't just Hyrule.
Oh, great one.
Like there's New Hyrule, there's like the inverted places, and that's it. Gotta ask more questions about the Tingle games.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I feel like Glenn would snipe those, honestly.
Glenn knows a suspiciously large amount about Tingle.
Hey, I'm an unironic Tingle enjoyer. Oh
You
no.
gotta play the games.
Oh no, I got the stupid thing with Yonobo. I get stuck on the wall.
Oh no.
Meanwhile, we just wrapped up Fire Temple on my end, so now we'll be heading to Wind Temple for our next dungeon. And we're halfway done. with the dungeons. But the first hour of the game took so long that it's not going to take us another hour.
Aw. I guess more game. Yay.
Yay.
We've got Wind Temple and then Lightning Temple and then the 6th dungeon, which a lot of casual fans may not realize is a dungeon in terms of speedrun purposes, is Hyrule Castle. We count Hyrule Castle as a dungeon because there's a boss, you get a heart container, and most importantly, if you don't fight the boss at Hyrule Castle, you have to fight him in the boss rush at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And then after Hyrule Castle, we'll be heading straight to the final boss.
Sounds good.
I am an entire dungeon behind.
Well, speaking of the final boss,
Yeah.
before this game, what was the last mainline appearance of Ganondorf?
Twilight Princess?
Like release date?
That's it?
was?
Yeah.
Twilight
Yeah.
Princess.
It's been that long, huh? I really had to go back.
Ganondorf in human form, yep, as an antagonist. Twilight Princess.
I feel like Ganon and Smash has just gaslit us for all these years.
Such a popular character. And he just keeps showing up in other forms. It's being a human.
And you know, honestly, he's so real for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. What's going on in the story? Everyone loves story in their speedrun.
Story.
Yeah.
We just freed Yonobo from the clutches of swag.
Uh-huh.
And we're gonna go dive into a volcano real soon.
Happens.
Yeah.
I enjoy like the lead up to dungeons that this game does.
They're pretty lopsided. It's funny because you've got ones like the Gerudo section where you've got like 4 different combat challenges, and then you have a puzzle to solve, and then another like a mini boss fight, and then you get to the dungeon. And then there's Wind Temple where you go talk to some birds, you go talk to another bird, you fight 3 bokoblin, you go talk to another bird, and then you're at the dungeon.
Thrilling.
Oh, okay. Well, we're here
We
now.
went pretty far.
No, it's fine.
Oh, Yonobo's
Actually, I
got
don't
you.
think it's
Okay.
fine, but I think I actually am over there. No, Oh, I actually am on the opposite side of the mountain. Alright, that makes sense.
We'll find a way.
Yeah, we'll find a way. Okay, I love when I get my inputs eaten. I'll go ahead and make a new
There we
pocket
go.
rocket here.
I think one thing I'm not sure if we mentioned yet, but another difference between the versions is with that pocket rocket glitch. It lasts a lot longer on 1.0. So I only have to set it up like twice for the entire run optimally, or 3 times I guess. But Glenn has to set it up probably like 30 or 40 times optimally.
That's tough.
Speaking of tough, you got a question? I can't because my cat's in the way of my monitor, so I can't see.
I can take it for here or from here. Yeah. Let's see.
Thank you.
Oh, this is kind of building off a question from earlier. Link's appearance is primarily based off which animated character?
Okay, what am I doing?
Yeah, this is just Link's appearance in general, like specifically Zelda 1, but
I feel like I've heard this before.
You probably have.
yeah.
Is it animated Leonardo DiCaprio?
You're funny.
Fortunately not this time. It is animated character from I think the 50s specifically.
50s.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, 53.
I gotta know
Character.
50s animated shows.
It's from a film. Character definitely existed before then, but
Okay. Well, if it was that long ago, an animated character, it had to be like Disney.
okay.
Is it I had it and then I forgot.
Who's a blonde? Well, I guess it's
Where's
not necessarily
green?
blonde. Where's green? Oh, Peter Pan.
Yeah,
There you
you're
go.
bad.
Oh shit. I mean, great.
Yep. Where's green? Pointy ears, pointy hat. That's it.
Right, here's
sense.
our,
And then
Saves
here's
the
our
day.
boss fight for the Wind Temple lead up. 3 Bokoblin, 2
Use
at base
Tulin's
level,
power
1 just
wind.
above base level.
beat 3 Bokoblins.
Got him.
And a fun fact here, from beating these Bokoblin to regaining control is like the longest unbroken text/cutscene sequence in the game, or in this category.
we love cutscenes.
Aonuma wanted us to watch all the cutscenes.
You gotta understand the lore.
If you love cutscenes, definitely become a Zelda speedrunner.
True.
It's great for talking to chat.
Yeah, you get a little break.
Very
And I
chill.
recommend Tears of the Kingdom and Echoes of Wisdom.
I love watching the Glubbers.
Ocarina of Time glitchless.
It's because these games clearly were not made to be speedrun, and the developers hate speedrunners.
Nintendo.
In fact, they're
hates
watching the
him.
stream, shaking their fist at this very moment.
Yeah.
Aonuma, if you're watching this right now, that's cool. Hey.
I mean, it's what, like 3 in the afternoon in Japan or something?
Yeah, it's a reasonable time. I'm doing market research for the next Zelda game. By watching speedrunners. Have there been any like official, like, not necessarily speedrun modes in a Zelda game, but like things
Like nods
encouraged
to
for speedrunners, I guess.
I mean, there's always boss rush.
Yeah.
Yeah. OT3D had the timed boss rush. Skyward
Yeah.
Sword had the boss rush stuff.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess Majora's Mask.
I think
had
A
that
Link
too, or
Between
no? I can't
Worlds
remember.
times the Treacherous Tower, I think. I forget.
Yeah.
More games need to have the Celeste retry button where it just kills you instantly and brings you back to the start. Definitely would work in an open world game like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
Press retry
just
and go back
select
to
your
the most recent dungeon.
just like select your restore point, like it's NSO.
Oh yeah, true.
So
quick
this
save.
this segment right here where we're ascending into Wind Temple, it's gonna go a lot quicker for Glenn because he's gonna be able to use APCS. But my cart slide or my magic carpet can basically only go great. It's really hard to gain elevation with it. So we're gonna just have to rock it up.
You have a lot of confidence in me to say that it's gonna be fast.
Oh, you can pull it off. It's probably,
I actually did it like 3 times practicing before this.
yeah, I believe. Would you say that's the hardest ABCS of the run?
Oh, absolutely. By a lot.
Oh my gosh, that scammed.
Next hardest is the one to Spirit Temple.
Okay.
Wind Temple, wee.
Yippee.
Narrowly avoided having to use an extra charge. My charge count is running pretty low. I think I didn't duplicate as much as I should have.
Yeah. Fire Temple is pretty much the same between the versions. We do some pocket rocket movement, get on wings to summon Yunobo to us instantly. It's only going to be one slight difference at the end. I have no idea how that hit. So my cat's here again. I know there's cat fans in the chat room. This is, you know, the internet.
Hello, cat.
Her name is
my cat
Lulu.
is on my keyboard right now.
One thing we didn't mention about Fire Temple is that you can actually clip right into the boss arena from the very start, and the boss will actually, like, it'll play the cutscene and start the fight, but the boss will just be invisible and intangible and not there. So you'll have like the boss health bar and the boss music is playing and Yunobo will do his little dialogue, but you can't actually fight the boss. It's basically like a soft log. But clipping in still saves about 15 seconds because it skips having to go back to the terminal and then watch a cutscene to open the gate.
Alright. Yunobo? He was right here and then he just left again. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, speaking of bosses that may or may not be battleable, who knows? The final battle in Ocarina of Time's original concept was to be Link climbing up a giant Ganondorf. This concept was eventually worked into a boss in which Mario game?
Climbing up a giant Ganondorf.
Shadow of the Colossus.
This is Super Mario.
Mario edition.
I'm just throwing out my funny answer.
Okay.
I don't actually know.
I like it.
Wait, do I have to name the boss or the game?
No, just the game.
The game.
Galaxy.
Galaxy, yes.
Yep.
Do you know what the boss is?
Now do you know the boss?
No. Completely shot in the dark.
Okay, well, it's the first, I think, major boss, Megaleg. The giant, like, octopus spider-looking fly thing that Bowser Jr. controls. Very menacing.
But yeah, effectively would have been like a Shadow of the Colossus-like type of fight.
So more out of bounds in Wind Temple for me.
You know, we'll get back here. I will also be going out of bounds in Wind Temple. So you get the marbled Goma fight here for fire. This one's pretty straightforward. Just shoot it with topazes and it dies.
Okay.
Not even a glitch, it just costs like 1,000 rupees or something.
I'd say it's worth it to, you know, purge Hyrule of impending doom.
Yeah, that's reasonable. All right, how about we do one more question and then go to our second break?
Yeah, sure.
Sounds good.
That sounds okay. All right, this one's a long one, so I believe. The Amazon River and its tributaries flow through which 9 countries?
Oh gosh.
Brazil.
So Brazil's the obvious one.
Yep.
Colombia.
Colombia.
Where's one?
Bolivia.
Venezuela.
Yep, both of those.
Peru.
Did Glenn say Bolivia?
Yes.
I said,
And Peru.
Peru
Yep.
is one.
there's only like
Paraguay?
9 countries in South America.
Is that-
So
It
that might be
really
too far
is
south.
like every country in South America except for 2.
Argentina.
Except for 3.
I'm assuming it's
Argentina is not
not
one.
the southernmost ones.
Right.
How about Guyana?
Suriname.
Guyana's one. Suriname's one. 2 more.
Uruguay.
No.
Yeah, I think that's
Too
too far
far
south.
away.
Yeah.
Is Paraguay too far south?
Yes.
Okay.
What's the other one? Ecuador.
Yep. And then one more.
Is it French Guiana?
Yeah,
AKA
or
France.
Yep.
Well done.
I don't know the distribution there. I think you kind of got an equal amount. I think Landon had gotten one more. So
Yeah, I think Glenn probably got more on that one.
you both get a bunch of time for that. So good job.
Classified as a very hard
Yeah.
question. So
This was basically name every country in South America. So you did, actually. You didn't say Chile, so that was not right anyways. All right, with that, I think it's
I'll have
about
to-
time to
Yeah.
second break once you're out of cutscenes.
Well, since it's Tears of the Kingdom, we're both in a cutscene right now.
You
I
are
think.
definitely both in cutscenes.
Oh, we love Tears of the Kingdom. Here, Yunobo scratches his head for 10 seconds.
Love it.
Bit deep in thought.
Alright, I'm able to pause.
All right.
Yeah, I can pause too. Whenever.
All right, let's pause in 3, 2, 1, pause. Once again, we are not going anywhere. We still have a good bit of run left, probably a little bit less than an hour or about an hour. So stay tuned for the next and final bit. But first, again, we have some announcements.
as we do, Swift, as we always do, hey, your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and even bits cheered on the Games Done Quick channel on Twitch here help support Games Done Quick Hotfix. If you enjoy watching speedruns, consider subscribing to the channel to get access to our cool emotes, and you get ad-free viewing, and you can chat with subs during replays. Whoa, and also, you can join the official GDQ Discord and add the Hotfix role where you can keep tabs on upcoming events, talk with staff, and more. You can use the Discord command in the Twitch chat for more info. And then finally, if you missed out on any of our Hotfix shows, you get or events like Back to Black or Frost Fatales, you can check out the VODs on our YouTube channel over at youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick. Thank you very much. We'll head to our second break.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to Think Fast, the speedrunning game show of fast times and sharp minds. If you're just joining us, I'm your host, Swoos.
And I'm also your host, Sparkle.
In case you forgot how the game works, it's not enough to simply beat the game the fastest. Our runners are answering our trivia questions as they play, and the more questions they get right, the more seconds we take off their time. Once again, for everybody watching at home, feel free to play along in chat. After that last segment, Cloud is ahead in trivia time, and I believe also in game time. So, Land's got to mount a comeback, and I believe.
Yeah,
So,
I need to answer like 100 trivia questions.
well, we got 18 more, so we'll get through them. In that case, if y'all are ready to go, the only way to find out who's going to win this race is to think fast in 3, 2, 1, go.
It's all right. How's game state looking?
Yeah, quick refresher.
So I'm just finishing up Wind Temple, which means for me there's about 40 to 45 minutes left in the run. I'm going to be heading to Lightning Temple next, which is the penultimate dungeon.
And I just finished Fire Temple, so now I have to go and do all of Wind Temple. We're gonna fly on Hyrule Airways to get there.
Yeah.
We'll soon reach our cruising elevation of 800 whatever unit.
Of 800.
I think it's meters. Like
I think it's just meters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
The coordinates in game.
I know this because I watched the video of the Link Olympic decathlon. That's a good one. I recommend watching it.
I haven't tuned much into like the Zelda content farm or whatever you want to call it on YouTube.
I don't think it's even a Zelda guy. He just was curious about how Link would do at the Olympic decathlon, so he just set up a bunch of silly contraptions to mimic
Very
it.
curious on this
That's
now.
pretty cool.
Yeah, no, like Link is like he's like godlike at shot put, but he's like terrible at like long high jump or something.
Okay,
Yeah, stuff like that.
I could see that.
I'm way off course here. Let's just abandon it there. Where am I? Oh, not that far, actually.
I found the video, and there's an edit from the author in the pinned comment of, "I've just been informed that it is against the rules to flip in long jump. I can't believe I didn't check this. This is the worst day of my life." I want to say it used to be allowed.
Is there video
Like,
footage?
chewing up.
Probably
Yeah,
not.
like-
I don't know.
It used to be. Yeah, actually, it was. I don't know if it was like Olympic legal, but like there were people that just doing the long jump. They just did a front flip and got like extremely long distances from that. But then it was banned because it's not safe just doing a front flip.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. But anyways, I also think that asking you questions is cool.
I
So,
think so too.
in Breath of the Wild, where is the Spore Store?
Korok Forest. Or whatever they call it.
More specifically,
Inside the Deku Tree.
There you go.
I was like, wait, I probably need to get more specific with that one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get there on Breath of the Wild questions.
That's where the all main quests unrestricted speedrun performs inventory slot transfer glitch.
Oh, I should have asked there. I should have asked that.
Yeah. I still wouldn't have.
In what store does the all main quest speedrun?
You have to specify unrestricted versus restricted
Oh,
because
yeah.
I think
Sorry.
restricted does it in Vito Village.
Right.
Of course, yeah. Should have known.
Here's where I put my
I should-
friends away because they're actually not helpful at all.
Goodbye, friends.
Hey, do we like water? Good.
Yeah.
Everyone knows
Good.
the molecular formula of water is H2O, but do you know what D2O is colloquially known as?
Heavy water.
Heavy water.
That's
Well
it.
done. Yes.
You know what the D stands for?
Deuterium.
You know why it's called that?
Because it
Or rather, what it is.
it's hydrogen with 2 neutrons instead of 1.
One neutron instead of 0.
1 instead of 0.
But that was extra info, so still got it. Tritium, I think, is 2 neutrons, and it's also radioactive.
Hey, you.
I never would have got that question.
I may be a little science nerdy. We beat 3 bokoblins. Let's go.
Let's go. Now you talk to a bird.
Yeah. Can't believe this guy lost his bow to these bokoblins. And he's the sage. Like,
It happens.
happens.
Well, speaking of speedrunning, In Super Smash Bros. Brawl's Masterpieces mode, how much time do you have to play the NES Legend of Zelda?
Oh. Is it 2 minutes?
Yeah.
It is exactly 2 minutes, yep.
Wow.
Totally guessing. I just remember the Ocarina of Time one was like 5 minutes,
Yeah,
I think.
it's 5
Right,
minutes
yep.
for Ocarina of
Because
Time.
I watched a YouTube video about them trying to beat Ocarina of Time within the Brawl demo.
Yep. Yeah, you get 2 minutes and it skips the main menu, so you just get booted right into the game. How far can you progress in first Legend of Zelda in 2 minutes?
You can like almost
Personally,
do
not
the
very
first
far,
dungeon in the
probably.
speedrun, I think.
Interesting.
I think a good time is like 220 something to get to the first dungeon in the room. I don't know. I'm exposing myself as a fake 2D Zelda speedrunner by speedrunning Tears of the Kingdom.
This is notably not a 2D game. Good call.
Yeah. I mean, it's 2D on my monitor.
True. But all games are, usually. What would you classify a VR game as?
It's all 2D, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all a
2D
trick.
games. One in each eye.
Yeah, it's fooling.
Can't believe they would
human
lie to us
body.
like that.
Virtual 2D.
Yeah, so now I'm about to do what Clad was talking about earlier, the ABCS to get up to Wind Temple. This one's very different and very, very difficult. So for all the slides so far, I've been holding that extra third wing out in front, but on this one I'm actually going to let go of it. And then I have to turn around in midair. So...
Letting go of that like steering wing, it gives you a lot more height because Link just runs basically up at a 45-degree angle. But if you keep that wing like held, you can adjust the height pretty well.
It's very funny.
The shout out to ZFG for coming up with that strap. I actually need to tip speaker.
Gotta catch your flight.
True.
that was a bit messy, but
Be clutch.
I really thought I was going to hit that boat.
So on my end, now we get to play a little tower defense mini game. I really like this. They let you set up like all these blockades and cannons and like position the guards and whatnot. I thought it was really cool. But in the speedrun, we're just gonna skip it, and Link's gonna kind of one-man army his way through.
Yeah, I set up all sorts of stuff, and then it was very easy, all in one.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 weeks ago we had Plants vs. Zombies, so this is just a continuation of that episode.
Yeah.
Gyarados versus zombies.
Actually, they're Gyarados.
True. You really know your Zelda
still buy
tricky,
it.
don't you?
I was very excited how
Someone say-
many of like classic Zelda enemies they brought back
Yeah, me
in
too.
this game, like from Zelda 1 even.
Tektites really
That's very
felt
nice.
really random.
There we go. Wait, I don't remember the Tektites.
Or whether no, it was what's the Tektites are the spider things, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, the Scoopy glorp swallow things.
The likes.
Likes, yes, those.
Scoopy Glorp is what I'm calling them
I like that.
forever from this day forward. Did you know that likes actually have feet?
What?
You have now been cursed with knowledge.
Yeah, maybe
Why?
feet in this.
But they hang from ceilings and stuff.
Yeah, if you go out of bounds, you can actually see
What?
what they look like from
This
the back.
is This is the second episode in a row where we've been cursed with knowledge of something that doesn't typically have feet having feet.
It was also a Plants vs. Zombie thing, right? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was the Chomper in Geometry Dash.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I don't like that.
A frame too early on that shot.
I think that was a non-canon appearance, unlike this, though.
Scoopy clip. So I'm going to go for a clip called Shelter Clip that saves about 4 or 5 seconds and can lose like 2 minutes if I miss it.
All right. 2
Just
minutes for me to catch up. Nah, you can get it.
I hit it. Sorry, Quinn.
Oh.
I never doubted.
Even in my PB, I didn't go for that because I was like, I realized I'm on world record pace. I'm like, yeah, I think I'll sacrifice those 4 seconds.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
But I came up with a slightly better lineup for it, so it's kind of free-ish now. At least more than it used to be.
Oh, I thought Oh wait, that actually worked. So again, I'm gonna go out of bounds in Wind Temple as well. I think the routing is roughly the same.
The routing for Wind Temple is super flexible because Tolan has a 15-second cooldown, which is the longest of all the sages. And you can generally get from terminal to terminal in less than 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
so there's like 4 or 5 different route orders that work.
This one here and the next one, I'm gonna have to wait for him. It's very annoying, especially with this construct. But what's nice is you can summon him to you like for free if you just call a Paraglider.
At this point, we have more water questions than Zelda questions, so we gotta start getting through the water.
Yeah.
Well, I am in the desert, so I could use some
Well, you
water.
did go pretty hard on the Zelda question, Swoosh. That was a you thing, so...
We, there were a lot of them, so there's a couple more.
Perhaps.
There's no way that didn't work.
While the Volga River is the longest river in Europe, what more well-known river flows from Germany to the Black Sea?
The Danube.
Is it? Oh.
It is the Danube.
I was going to say that. But I didn't, so Glenn gets it.
This may be the first episode we've ever had where both runners are very good at geography questions. So good job. Because I like writing about geography questions, and nobody ever knows like any of them.
I like geography.
I'm like, all right. Yeah. So y'all are doing great.
I'm trying to beat the Americans aren't good at geography allegations.
Yes. Same. I also just played too much GeoGuessr, but that's separate.
Running kind of dangerously low on rockets here. Might have to do more.
Not my pocket rocket supply.
So I'm coming up on Lightning Temple, which is my personal favorite in the speedrun.
It's very cool. We definitely do the dungeon.
Well, it is all dungeons, so I hope that's not sarcasm.
You should. All dungeons as intended by the devs %.
Well, there's glitchless, but it's definitely not as intended.
Actually, now that you mention it, if you guys haven't seen a glitchless, I got the weird Reacher glitch. If you guys haven't seen a glitchless speedrun of this game, I definitely recommend checking it out. Any percent and all dungeons, they're
glitchless,
both
any
super
percent
cool.
is really, really hard.
Hmm.
Like normally you'd think of like glitched runs as being harder than glitchless, but I don't think that's the case in this game.
Does that mean it's like the other kingdoms?
Well, it's just like having enough resources to like beat the game.
Yeah, because there's like the whole boss rush section, and you get to skip that with a clip to reach Ganondorf in any percent, but in glitchless you have to actually fight them all.
Yeah,
and you don't have the paraglider. So you have to fight Colgera without the paraglider.
Ugh.
And you collect like barely enough water stuff to beat Bucktarok. So like if you miss a shot, then
it's pretty stressful. But so for Lightning Temple, we have 4 terminals we have to strike with Riju's lightning ability that we saw. But we're gonna basically skip every single puzzle by just coming up here.
Oh,
that's a bomb. And clipping out of bounds.
That's lovely.
Underneath the dungeon. And we can hit all of these terminals from out of bounds.
Every single one.
Every single one.
That's pretty epic.
Is this the fastest dungeon one?
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. They won't activate right away.
No. We haven't triggered the cutscene of like entering the dungeon. But once we do, they'll all activate at the same time. If we got them all.
I continue to be.
I'm a little concerned about that first shot. It might not have gone through.
Yeah, that looked a little sketchy. It is a pretty generous window.
But now, I know how to do it casually because I played the randomizer. Oh, I got reach you glitch again. Okay. Sometimes you'll press A to activate her ability and it just won't do anything.
Chat, I love water.
Ooh,
check this out. Located on the border of Zambia and Zimbabwe, what waterfall is known as the smoke that thunders?
Ooh.
It's Victoria Falls, isn't it?
Yeah, Victoria Falls.
Yep.
Well done.
I kept wanting to say Angel Falls, but I'm like, that's in Venezuela.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Known as one of the world's largest waterfalls, the smoke that thunders was also the clue that was used in the first episode of The Amazing Race to lead teams to Victoria Falls. Wow. Never watched that.
I think I did miss the first shot.
Used to watch it like a long time ago.
That's...
Second episode in a row where we talk about The Amazing Race.
It's all those
How about
geography
that?
questions.
Honestly, I don't even know how Amazing Race came up last time. We were talking about like YouTubers that were on it. I don't know how that came up, but yeah, Victoria Falls is the largest waterfall, but not the tallest. Because yeah, that's Angel Falls.
Is Riju not coming back? Oh, there she is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I missed this shot. Normally I try to get it from this side. We'll give that a shot.
A little bit off on this slide, and it's very difficult to steer. ABCS.
Let me in.
I think that's good.
If you hit all 4 shots, the cutscene automatically drags you in, but I think it's messed up since
Where? Oh,
shots, we're
wait,
gonna have to
I'm
improvise
way
with
over.
it.
It's over here, I think. Yeah.
Trying to put a nice spot to clip back in. This might work. No, I'm not gonna trust that. Okay, this.
Oh, did you actually miss one?
Yeah, and then I'm like stuck out of bounds. There we go.
There we go.
Is in your walls.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I didn't get the cutscene. This is strange. Oh, there we go. Okay. Do I have to go? Do I have to go all the way back out? I mean, like when you sequence break the game so bad.
Yeah.
You can't complain when things don't work as they're supposed to.
And they don't work as they're not supposed to?
Yeah. Wait.
One of those.
Yeah. Something like that.
Just insert a couple knots in there and it might work eventually.
Hey, look, we're both in cutscenes again.
Beautiful.
That's perfect time for a question.
Daughter of the
As a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Rock Island Southern Lagoon in Palau is known for its lake with what harmless animal?
use your power to charge the 4 barrels, and it will function once more.
Specifically, the animals in this lake are harmless compared to their typical, like, not in this lake ones that are not harmless. Hard to explain, but
I want to say sharks, but those wouldn't be in a lake.
right.
Probably not a small lake in Palau.
Yeah, I don't know how large it is, but probably not large enough to have sharks. It is an animal that does not breathe air.
Wait.
So it's not like a mammal or anything.
Yeah, some kind of fish, I assume.
Or fish adjacent, yep.
Yeah, how about,
I'm not
I
gonna
don't know,
get this
eels?
No, but kind of close. Sort of. They're kind of just things.
Yeah.
They're kind of just things.
No,
That narrows it down a little bit.
a little bit.
That's
Kind of means that they're not like
even more
fish,
so
fish.
than regular aquatic creatures.
Yeah.
Amorphous entities.
Honestly, yeah.
snakes.
No. Their typical forms arm through something that is not a bite.
Oh, is it like a jellyfish?
Yeah. The jellyfish in this lake, I don't think they have any predators, so they just don't have the ability to sting. So they kind of just chill.
Oh, that's so cool.
They just vibe, yeah.
Okay. This has turned into a bit of a situation. Let's see if we can get back in balance now.
Alright, I have one whole rocket. Doesn't seem ideal. I'll have to find somewhere to do a rocket. I think I know where I could do it. It's actually a lot. I don't know how I wasted so many.
Oh, it still didn't count. Interesting.
Uh-oh.
Well, you guys get it free. That's never happened before.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, there it goes. Okay, it worked.
Take back, take
That's maybe never
No,
happened.
it still never happened before. At least not to me. Yeah, I lost a lot of there.
Alright, so I'm heading into the Gibdo invasion now. The Gyptos are kind of interesting enemies in this game. Like you have to hit them with elemental damage to make them vulnerable. Like you can just brute force kill them, but they take very little damage from physical attacks.
Alright, while you're tower defensing or lack thereof, the Three Gorges Dam uses which river as the largest hydroelectric power station in the world?
The Yellow River.
It is not the Yellow River.
It's the Yangtze River.
Yangtze.
It's the Yangtze River.
Yeah.
It's one of those two. I just
One of the big ones. Yangtze River is the third largest in the world and the largest in Eurasia, and the dam itself generates around 100 terawatt hours of energy a year, enough to power millions of homes.
Wow.
And I think when it was like fully completed, it stopped so much water that it affected like the length of Earth's rotation or something.
Whoa. That's cool.
Let me find that. Yeah. Yeah, it has been found to slightly slow Earth's rotation by 0.06 microseconds per day.
Huh.
So not a lot, but that's still wild. Yeah, so it's kind of related to some research that was done after the massive tsunami in 2004 and that earthquake, which apparently that decreased the length of a day by 2 microseconds.
We're losing so much time.
We're just losing
here.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not really good when I'm trying to do a speedrun.
When you were a kid, did your days feel longer? That's because they were.
I was going to make some sort of stupid joke. Yeah.
That's a good joke. That's a good joke. All right, well, so after a bit of a situation number 4, I'm out of Lightning Temple, and now we're going to go to beat dungeon 6 out of 6, which is Hyrule Castle. This one's also super fun. Not really a lot of glitches, other than our Pocket Rocket for movement. We're just going to be kind of, yeah, this is a great kind of encapsulation of the skill you need to have in a speedrun in terms of like tight movement with the rocket. It's kind of like a Pocket Rocket obstacle course in a way. And then you get to use like a bunch of different forms of combat too. Spear, bow, throwing, stuff like that. And there's a fun little trick shot at the end that we'll try to hit. And then after that, we'll be heading straight down, literally straight down. We'll be diving for like a minute straight to get to the final boss.
All right. What was the purpose of the R-Wing in Ocarina of Time's code?
Practicing, or not practicing, but testing Z targeting?
Yes, in regards to what?
Enemy AI?
Sorta.
Aiming the bow.
I'll give it to Cloud for that. It's
Flying
specifically for testing Volvasia's flight pattern, but I believe it was also for Z targeting.
Yeah.
Kind of a combination of the two. So, and it's still there, and you can access it with glitches, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah. When's this game getting arbitrary code execution?
Hopefully never.
Could not imagine how complex that would be on a modern day console.
Yeah, it would be quite something.
I was also looking before regarding the first Legend of Zelda, and the ace category for that game is like 2 minutes 20, so you just barely can't beat it in the Brawl demo, assuming it works in that demo.
Oh.
Yeah, although I think it's FTS version exclusive.
That's probably true, yeah. But I wonder if the Japanese Brawl masterpieces are the Famicom.
Waiting.
That's interesting, actually.
Let me research.
Waiting
My
for
bow
you.
broke. Ruh-roh. That doesn't matter.
I'm not sure. Apparently, within the time limit between both Brawl and Wii U, speedrunners have been able to beat Donkey Kong, One Loop of All Levels, Kirby's Adventure, Punch-Out, and Ocarina of Time. Well, Punch-Out uses a password just to beat Mr. Dream.
That's not. That doesn't
Kind
count.
of. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not sure if they use their Famicom versions or not.
Okay, actually, good Queen Gibdo. Riju asks me to find a way into the dungeon.
Yeah,
And that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Well, while we're on the topic of masterpieces in Brawl, Super Smash Bros. Brawl. In Super Smash Bros. Brawl's Subspace Emissary, who captures Zelda and Peach in the first level?
Oh, it's the piranha plant guy.
What's his name?
I don't know.
You have to know his
PD
name.
Piranha?
PD Piranha,
It's
that's
PD.
right. That goes to Gland.
Look, I'll give time.
I didn't
for the
actually
Final
know
Fight
that.
Hey, I was
Yeah.
a kid, okay?
Yeah, both uses two cages to capture each princess, and each cage has its own health bar, depending on which cage you break.
True.
Which is the princess you save. But you can actually hit PD Piranha's body, which damages both cages equally. So if you do the entire fight, I think it picks Zelda by default, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know, actually. I know what the speedrun does.
I
Yeah,
don't
Zelda,
know
of
anything
course.
about Smash.
The speedrun saves Zelda because Sheik is faster than Peach.
Sheik's back rolls are faster than Peach, asterisk.
There you go. Got the trick shot.
Yeah, well,
Nice.
back in my day, we just ran with Sheik.
Oh, yeah.
I am waiting. Waiting. Waiting for you.
I did not mess up Lightning Temple.
Yeah, wow, that was
In
super
that
smooth.
precious time.
Closing the gap.
It's almost kind of a shame that we do the out of bounds stuff, because this is definitely like the coolest dungeon thematically.
Yeah. The gold bar sprite from Clue Land is repurposed as what in the original Legend of Zelda?
Gold bar. I don't know Clue Land. As in like the graphic of it?
Yes, the sprites are the same between games. But in Zelda, it's obviously something different.
Is it the Triforce of Power?
No.
The gold bar? Is it the book?
Nope. It is the same color. Like, the sprite is identical. And I guess they have...
What looks like a gold bar?
Kind of similar functions, I guess. I don't know what the bar actually does in Clue Land, but you don't have to.
I mean, is it a rupee?
Which one?
Oh, oops.
Well, there's only,
This is this one.
I don't know, the 5 rupees?
What color?
Well, it's a gold bar, so yellow? There's not a yellow rupee in that game, is there?
It's like yellow or orange. But yeah, that is it.
Interesting.
Yep, they just have the same sprite.
Yeah. Queen Gibdo has a really wonky hitbox. Sometimes your attacks just miss.
Yeah,
Or
and then
like-
Link auto targets the main body, but you want to hit like her back legs to stun her, so it can get pretty
Or
annoying.
like, I'm trying to hit with the Zuggled Master Swords and the Royal Halberd, but the Halberd is longer than the swords, and like the swords physically have to make contact to do damage. So sometimes you just only hit with the Halberd. It's very stupid. It's almost like when you use glitches.
Things being inconsistent, no way.
Through Lightning Temple. I think I got another like 15 minutes or something. I don't remember.
Makes sense.
Alright, so I'm fighting the Demon King's army now, which as you can see is more or less a breeze with our gems and 3-shot bow. These topaz, they each do 80 damage, so you know when you're shooting 3 at once, it gets a bit ridiculous. Again, not a glitch, just something that the game lets you do. I mean, gems are a precious resource. They want you to save them, but
Yeah, when we can just dupe them, then we need to obliterate everything.
Makes sense.
Bleh, super strong.
Alright. Hyrule has drawn inspiration multiple times from which major Japanese city?
Kyoto.
It is Kyoto.
Think fast.
You thought too fast. The sources that I saw were just like the first Legend of Zelda and also the map for Breath of the Wild / this one.
Yeah, the shrine names in Tears of the Kingdom are anagrams of actual like Shinto shrines in Kyoto or other like touristy features, not just shrines I think, but a lot of them are actual like Shinto shrines.
I think I might have seen something like that, but that makes sense. That's cool. More games need to take place in the real world, confirmed.
Alright, time to fight Ganondorf.
Oh, he has a lot of health. That's gonna be a scary
What are
fight.
you gonna do?
It ends up not being much of a fight.
I could imagine.
It is a fight when you're bad at flurry rushes. Like, and you have to do flurry rushes.
Dude, this fight goes so
like
hard
me,
when you're
'cause
bad at the
I'm
game.
Yeah.
Or when you're playing randomizer and you have a moblin shooting meat arrows at you from the background.
So what does the randomizer do for this game?
Oh goodness. It has like a goal mode where it gives you, you select like a number of objectives to complete, like say like 5 or 10 or whatever. And it's just random stuff like visit this location, collect 3 of this item, defeat 3 of this enemy, blah, blah, blah. Like beat this dungeon or whatever. And then once you do those, you can go beat the final boss. But then there's also like a randomizer cycle where it adds like random enemy spawns and like environmental changes and things like that.
There's a lot of damage.
Yeah. We love a good randomizer, though.
It's interesting. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I ended up enjoying it. I'm not really that familiar with a lot of like the randomizers for older Zelda games where it's like you just do all these checks.
Right.
An open world game like this is definitely a bit different.
Yeah.
This
But it's still
Bokoblin
quite fun.
just blocks topazes with a shield.
Oh yeah, the wooden Boko shield or whatever. Like, come on, man.
What the hell? That's not what I wanted.
So the demon dragon fight here, this will be the end of my run. This is one of the hardest parts. It's on a cycle. It's one of the hardest parts to get optimally. So now's the perfect time to ask the hardest trivia question you can while I try to focus.
Let me see.
We have left.
But I think something like 3 world records in a row messed up the cycle at the end here, including my own. But I actually came up with like a pathing that's way more lenient for the final hit, which is the hardest part. And I actually haven't missed it much since. That being said, I probably jinxed it. And I'm gonna lose like 20 minutes here, but
But 2 rivers combine at the Shat al Arab to empty into the Persian Gulf.
the Tigris and the Euphrates.
Yep.
Okay.
I actually had no idea.
I
Cloud is really beating the allegations tonight.
Look, I had great hints of like it was relevant in Mesopotamia, but you just know it.
I knew that one.
I still would not
in
have
fact the knower.
I'm a fraud.
I find myself decent at geography, except when it comes to bodies of water for some reason. I know like nothing about that.
Well, you're chill because we have like 2 water type gym leaders here with us, so
Honestly, yeah.
they know everything.
Y'all are too good. But do you know? Yeah, you probably do. How did Chris Houlihan get his name into Link to the Past?
He won a contest in Nintendo Power.
Yep,
Yippee. Fun facts.
that was an easy one.
I am currently grinding a Link to the Past category where the first thing you do is go to Chris Houlihan room. So I did not eat my other speed food. I've been slow this whole time. I also got the trick shot.
That was pretty
It
cool.
makes sense that you would go there. There's a lot of money in there.
Yeah.
Okay, this should be fine. It was a bit scuffed at the end.
Yeah, it's funny that the Houlihan room is like you go there if the game doesn't know where you are. So like
Yeah, it's a fail safe if it
right.
can't figure out where.
It's like, oh, you'll be in the game if people screw up and glitch the game.
right, well, I got the cycle, so that's good. I didn't jinx it after all.
Nice.
Even with the question answer during it too.
Well, that was technically still during the cutscene, I guess.
Yeah, well, you were prepping for it.
I was. So after my hit on the dragon's weak point here, I'll have like just about 60 seconds left in my run.
Sounds good.
Topaz arrow. Boom.
That fight is really weird. The second phase in particular, it's just so inconsistent whether they actually get there or not.
Yeah. I came up with a strat to make it so they don't like warp away to like skip the second cycle, but I have to relearn it because apparently I'm not consistent at it anymore. But my time will end when we hold hands with the princess.
Ooh.
Oh.
Holding hands. It's time for more trivia then, right?
And 3,
Yeah, of course.
2, 1, and time.
Yay. GG Cloud.
GG.
Well, in that case, I'm going to intentionally make this question harder. Maybe. The St. Lawrence River acts as a border between which two North American subdivisions?
Subdivisions.
So, like states.
Canada and the US.
yeah.
No.
Oh, subdivisions. So not the countries.
Right. So, like states / provinces.
Oh.
/
Quebec and
Mexico
Maine.
as states as well.
And Maine.
Nope.
It's either Quebec and Maine or Quebec and New Brunswick.
It is neither of those. Actually, let me check. Me
Is it New
vagifying
York?
this question may have been more answers.
St. Lawrence.
What were you saying,
I said Quebec and New York.
Ontario.
New York is one of them. It is Ontario.
Oh,
Yes.
Ontario.
Yep.
I'm throwing.
It doesn't look like it makes any more borders within Canada exclusively. So good.
Yeah, I was being silly as a joke.
Of course.
Definitely not, forgetting the border that's the closest to me. I guess the international border.
Oh yeah, and the cutscene is not pre-rendered, so we get that massive glowing lightsaber on Link's back.
Just overexposure in the picture.
Yeah.
Cutscene.
The weird thing about Army
Alright.
is like the enemies are like different ranks, but it's really hard to tell because they're all red with gloom.
They're all goo.
gloomified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All goo pilled. It's like, how many fairies do you grind out at the beginning? Like, what's like a comfortable amount to have?
So at the beginning, I probably want it might be different between the two routes.
Yeah.
For me, I generally try to have 8 to 10 for Spirit Temple through Water Temple, because then in Fire Temple during the Unova fight is where we dupe the rest, and then I'll do up to 20, 25. Optimally, you wouldn't do more than 20, I think. So 30 and 35 in total. No, 25 to 30 in total.
I usually do
For
more
this
than I
category.
need, but I go to 15-ish at the beginning.
Right. All right, we're down to 4 questions left, so let's get through them.
Yeah.
What river divides the 2 capital cities of Brazzaville and Kinshasa?
It's not just the Congo River, is it?
It is, yeah. It makes too much sense. see, the a standard episode would go.
Bad.
Our owners would be like, I have no idea where those two are, and I'd be like, oh, okay, but
all right, well,
you're too good. So
news, I've really messed up this fight.
Uh-oh.
I may have used onto the tree branch.
Oops.
Well, now we just beat him with Master Swords and no.
I'd watch out. Ganondorf is really strong. Watch out.
That's so much health. The health bar goes more than being the center of the screen. That means he has so much health.
I have 26 fairies. I think I'm fine.
I think so.
Except for the part where.
25.
Countdown and jet.
This is going to take a little bit longer.
Good thing it has infinite durability, right?
Yeah.
The Master Sword, yep. The Bane, the Blade of Evil's Bane. Take this, you fiend.
I love the canon impact of getting that message not found sword in the speedrun, because it's like you give the broken one off to Zelda and she heals it for like tens of thousands of years, but then you just go back in time and get it from the timeline before it was destroyed.
That's nice.
And it's like even stronger than the repaired one. It's like, thanks Zelda, but I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm supposed to have a Lionel Saberhorn fused here, which adds the damage to all Zuggled weapons, all of which are doing double damage, so it does like, I think 17 times the fuse power from the Saberhorn on each swing.
Something like that. We've worked out the math several times, and I never remember what the final number is, like how much you're doing per hit.
A lot.
Yeah. Just over half his health bar.
Wow. I think in the next Smash game, they should give Link message not found.
True.
I need him to flurry rush me.
You're cooking, actually.
And then I get skill issue.
Then I might actually play Smash. But yeah, the message not found, you can't fuse to it directly because it's the prologue sword. It was never meant to have anything fused to it.
Right.
So what you have to do is Zuggle it and then fuse something to like a holder weapon. So generally we use like the Royal Halberd through most of this run as like our holder weapon, so we can actually like fuse something onto it. And I think Glenn already mentioned, when you fuse something to a Zuggle stack, it applies that fuse individually to each one of the swords, so they all get the buff. It's pretty nice. For speedrunning, it basically just trivializes all combat.
Wow, smooth fight. Well done.
Nice.
Very efficient use of resources.
Yeah.
That's why you have fairies.
My infinite resources put to good use.
Well, you know what's maybe an infinite resource? Water.
Yeah. Hopefully.
World Rivers Day, a celebration of the Earth's waterways, is going to be on what day later this year?
Yeah.
Or at least a time frame, because I don't expect you to know this.
Late
Yeah, I have no idea.
August.
Close?
Early August.
July.
Further.
Early September.
Keep going.
Late September.
There you go. Specifically this year, September 28th, or typically the fourth Sunday of September.
I've
So
never heard
mark
of
the
that
calendars
before.
for...
And that's World Rivers Day. World Rivers Day. Got it.
Yeah, everyone knows about that. Go jump in a river
We'll throw a party.
in a good way.
We'll do
Or a
Water
river
Temple
party.
IL speedruns on that day to celebrate.
Yep. It was first celebrated in 2005.
Maybe that's why I don't know about it.
I don't know if it has the same impact as Earth Day.
Probably not.
Which is today, if you're in Central Time or Eastern Time.
True.
Happy Earth Day.
Wow, yay.
True.
Also, Etchy's birthday.
Happy birthday,
Etchy.
Etchy.
I'll send him a clip.
Yeah, you do the 3D Zelda challenge, but just the water temples.
Water levels only.
Oh gosh. Some people, that would be like their worst nightmare.
I like the water temples.
I do think they're overhated. That being said, I don't think they're the best either.
Right.
I just have neutral opinions, I suppose.
They exist. Alright, final Zelda question. What was the fate of the Low Rule Triforce before the events of A Link Between Worlds?
It was broken up because they were fighting over it too much.
Yep, it was destroyed. And then it was restored later because they wished upon a Triforce.
And now, the final water-themed question.
Oh no.
It's not called the Senegal, but Senegal does surround what country whose river flows through into the Senegal? Or into Senegal. The Gambia.
It's the Gambia.
Yes! You've done it! You thought fast.
Every single
question. We did it.
Perfect timing, too. Well,
What's up, buddy?
in that case, as you're finishing up anyways, if y'all have any shout-outs, perfect time to do so.
Cloud, you got anything?
Oh, I mean, first and foremost, shout out to Glenn who agreed on very short notice to de-rest this category and run it with me today. I really appreciate
Shout out
that.
to
Extreme good behavior.
GG's.
Trivia,
No, it was really cool to get to showcase like the two different routes on the two different versions.
That was the best Demon Dragon I've done since I was de-rusting.
That was pretty fast.
By like a lot, including practice.
Nice.
But I guess I don't really have much other shout outs. If you guys want more content with me for some reason, I'm Cloud on Twitch, CLOUDD. Right now I'm running this category, but in Breath of the Wild. So Breath of the Wild, all dungeons. I'm actually prepping to do a multi-Zelda run where I run Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom all dungeons back to back. So that'll be fun once we get to that. If you want to see some Breath of the Wild speedruns.
Yeah, I'm currently working on a Link to the Past speedruns. I'm running a bizarre category called Low Percent All Dungeons, and it's very, very difficult. But fun. It's time.
Time. Okay.
GG's both again. Thank you for being on and being subject to water trivia, I guess.
It was great.
They killed it, so.
Honestly.
It was simultaneously not as bad as I thought, but also much worse than I thought.
Okay.
I think there was one single question where we had to give you it. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's like what, 95%?
That's pretty good.
Great job. I have your
nerds
final
over
times. Your final trivia adjusted bonus times. In second place with a final time of 3:01:07 is Glam. And in first place, winning our inaugural Tears of the Kingdom All Dungeons race on Think Fast, is Cloud with a 2:47:51. So,
Nice.
congratulations.
Big GG's.
Yeah, once again, thank y'all for being on.
Thanks for being on,
It was a
everybody.
good time.
It was great. Thanks so much
for having us. It was fun.
Of course.
Never thought I'd do a speedrun game show before. I can check that off my bucket list.
Yes. That's what we're here for.
It was chill.
Well, in that case, that is it for us for today, and that is also it for Hotfix on this evening. We do have some final announcements before we kick it over to today's replays of both Game Over and Think Fast.
Yep, that's right, Swoos. I've got some more final announcements for you. Yeah, apparently I called you Swift before the last break. I'm Swift out Loop Hill, don't mind me. Anyways, we will be live with our AAPI celebration here on Games Done Quick this May 3rd and 4th. Celebrate AAPI Heritage Month with a weekend full of Asian and Pacific Islander speedrunners. Use the AAPI command in chat for more info. And also, Black in a Flash is returning with an event for Juneteenth from June 20th to the 22nd. To learn more about how to join in the Black in a Flash community and submit your runs, visit the gdq.gg/BAF. BAF, of course, for Black in a Flash. And finally, you can go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix to check out this season's lineup and check out the schedule for an in-depth look at this week's runs. But yep, that's all for us tonight on Think Fast and Hotfix. Thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see you all later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.